'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was left living.
His hands. Somebody cut off his hands.
Silent Night, Bloody Night, starring Patrick O'Neill and Astrid Heron.
Yeah, Butler wasn't kidding. Nobody's lived here for years.
Don't laugh at me. I want your ID. Some maniac escaped from Margaretville.
Would you like to drive there?
Also starring John Carradine. Was the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was left living. Silent Night, Bloody Night.
Twas the day before Christmas, and all through the hills the reindeer were playing, enjoying the spills of skating and coasting and climbing the willows and hopscotch and leapfrog, protected by pillows.
Look, fellas, it's Rudolph. His nose is a sight. It's red as a beet.
Twice as big and twice as bright. Looky, looky, I'm Rudolph.
Poor Rudolph. Where most reindeers' noses are brownish and tiny, Rudolph's was red, very large, and quite shiny.
Go on home, Red Nose. Your mama's calling ya.
Come, come, Rudolph. Tonight you hang up your stocking.
His nose is a sight. It's red as a beet.
Twice as big and twice as bright.
While way, way up north on this dark, foggy night, awaiting the time for his Christmas Eve flight, good old Santa.
This fog will be hard to get through. Quick, get hitched in a hurry. Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen. Hi-ho! To keep our direction, we'll have to fly low. down here, quick! Hi-ho! Pretty close. Hi-ho!
The air was still foggy, the night dark and drear when Santa arrived at the home of the deer. But all this took time and filled Santa with gloom, while slowly he groped toward the next reindeer's room. The lamp wasn't burning. The glow came instead from Rudolph's red nose at the head of the bed. And then came the greatest idea in all history. So Rudolph is told of the dark and delay, the fog and the blackness and losing the way.
I need you tonight to lead all my deer on the rest of our flight.
Dear Mommy and Daddy, I have gone to help Santa. Don't worry. Rudolph, that's me.
Hurry, Rudolph. It's very dark here.
With Rudolph's red nose as a wonderful light, old Santa flew quickly the rest of the night. So fast that before it was day, the very last present was given away.
Hear ye, a message from Rudolph.
Yes, they'd found Rudolph's message. It's all over town.
Hear ye, Rudolph at the stadium. Come on, come on.
Bad deer who used to do nothing but tease him? Well, now they'd do anything only to please him.
Rudolph, my boy, they'll envy you now, far and near. For no greater honor can come to a deer than riding with Santa and guiding my sleigh. The #1 job on the #1 day. I hope you'll continue to keep us from grief. I hereby appoint you Commander-in-Chief.
And Rudolph just blushed from his head to his toes until his whole fur was as red as his nose.
Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Here they come! Call out the guard! Break out the colors! Summon the Marines! Hasten the royal musicians! Thousands upon thousands of musicians! Strike up the band!
Hey, will you put that thing back in the box? Get out of here! Just gonna get it right back right now. I've got to have it.
Open that window.
Not interested? Not even a little bit?
Good evening, goblins and ghouls, and welcome to the Friday Night Scream Stream. I'm your host, Spakenstein, joined as always by my very good friend, Mr. Evan Sink.
Good evening.
How we doing tonight, Evan?
We are good.
We're adjusting. We're adjusting.
We're having an earthquake over here.
Dude, no, it's me too. So Evan and I were talking about this. I didn't even check our cameras before I took us live. Much to our detriment, as you see now. We're adjusting everything, but
here we go.
I think I can. If I'm askew, it'll just have to do, because guess what? This isn't just any regular episode. This is our second annual Christmas special. So, first of all, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, and we hope you're having a nice Friday.
Yes. I mean, if you're not in the Christmas spirit yet, I mean, you're getting, we are crawling toward Christmas. It feels like, it's
coming. It's coming. It's on the horizon, and then bam, it's here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure, everybody's like, all right, I'm just ready for some days off. I'm ready to really get into the Christmas spirit.
Yeah, I'm ready to get into that Christmas ham.
Yeah, Christmas ham, a little Christmas booze, a little Christmas, whatever you indulge in. That's the beauty of Christmas. It's time to be appreciative for what you have. It's, the reason for the season. And the reason for the season over here at the Scream Stream is to bring you a special holiday film to celebrate this joyous time of the year. And in the public domain, we, Christmas classics are a little it's light. There aren't a ton of horror Christmas films in the public domain. Of course, last year's Christmas special, we went hot out of the gate. That probably picking the best Christmas horror film that's in the public domain, Silent Night, Bloody Night.
Yeah, that was very good.
It's a great slasher. If you haven't seen it, it is like it predates Black Christmas, and it is pretty gruesome and pretty fun, and we really enjoyed it. And if you haven't seen that and you're getting closer to Christmas, you want some public domain horror, go check out our episode of that over on our YouTube page at Screamstream Live. Like and subscribe. But we had a lot of fun with that, but there aren't really, I don't think we'll get another one. So this year I decided, all right, well, what's the second most prominent? And that's really kind of what we're, with the Christmas specials, that's kind of the way we're going. We're going from the best to the worst by season, by our fourth Christmas special. I can't promise that what we're going to be watching is
we'll be down at the bottom of the barrel.
It's going to be bad. But tonight we've got something really special. It's not horror, but it's sci-fi. So it's always we like our sci-fi films over here. We don't get them often. This is really primarily horror, but we do enjoy the occasional sci-fi film. And I don't know if what was the last sci-fi film we watched? Can you think off the top of your head? I mean, oh, your camera froze.
Yeah, I bet.
Evan,
I went a little too fast for my camera.
Yeah, what happened? The Ghost of Christmas.
What was the one where there was the aliens and they blow up the something?
Oh, it wasn't End of the World. End of the World? Something like that, I think. I think it was End of the World. We'll say that it was End of the World. God, come on, Evan's camera. Quit being about. Evan was joking before the show. We were we were talking about his camera, and he said I'm just afraid one of these days during the show it's gonna go. And Evan, I think you might have jinxed us, man. I think this is
So I can just set this one out, huh?
Yeah.
Just kidding. I'm over here.
You're here, but you're. Let's see. I don't know what the. Well, we'll keep. Okay, wait. All right. Hold on. Let's slit. Yeah.
Have you tried turning
one more
off,
time?
Turning it back on?
Nope. I swear this is the most troublesome your camera has ever been. Nope, it's still doing it. Well, I'll keep working on Evan's camera. We have his lovely voice still. You're not, and his lovely hissing, as you can hear. He's very good, very good at hissing.
We've got a snake here in the
a snake
studio.
with really vinegary breath.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to describe it. Wow, Evan, I think you called it, man. You called that your camera was gonna be. You know what we gotta do? You're gonna have to unplug it and plug it back in. So I'll leave that to you. But I still haven't said the title of tonight's film. Tonight we are going to be watching the night. Yeah, that's good. Brody Vandal. I love that. Yeah, Krampus did get his camera. Usually we're dealing with the Caligari curse over here, but I think you're right. This time of year, I think the Caligari curse gets overruled by the power of Krampus. And he's, Evan, were you bad this year? What did you do, man? I mean, what did you do to deserve this? Let's see. Oh, okay. Hey!
And I'm back.
He's back.
Yeah.
There he is. Okay. We're back. All right. So sweet. Evan's camera. We're not going to say anything. We're going to just...
and I'm not going to move too fast.
We're going to roll right along. Tonight, we're going to be watching the 1964 sci-fi fantasy Yuletide adventure, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. And I have not seen this before, but this has been commonly referred to as one of the worst movies of all time. But it's another thing we don't get a lot of on this show, family-friendly films.
Yeah.
We're not a very family-friendly show over here normally. We get a little, it gets a little, scandalous in here sometimes.
Yeah, and it's usually an off night if we don't have a body count.
That's very true. A body count or some kind of, even our trailers, sometimes you get a little bit of nudity. I mean, things that, it's just kind of par for the course with if you're dealing with 60s, 70s films, you never know what kind of crazy stuff you're going to get. But here tonight, family friendly, because it's Christmas, it's the holidays, it's good to, embrace that joyful feeling. What's more joyful than Santa Claus going to Mars and bringing the Yuletide spirit to the sour-dour Martians
by force?
By force, yeah. When they
conquering them.
When they say conquer, he's bringing the big guns. You better believe that they're not just making toys in Santa's workshop. They're also manufacturing weapons, but that should be a surprise to no one.
But it's family friendly.
I mean, that's the bureaucracy of the North Pole for you. They're selling you on the family friendliness, but it's all a cover for arms deals. Yeah, Santa's a little crooked. No, we're starting those conspiracy theories. No, actually, because tonight's film does feature Santa Claus as a character, we're gonna be getting into the history of Santa Claus. Yeah, I mean,
a little history lesson.
Yeah, it's something I do remember learning about some of it in school. But it's interesting to trace kind of how Santa as we know him, because Santa really is kind of like is a piece of folklore, right? I mean, and again, even though we say family friendly, we may, kind of, talk about how Santa is invented and Santa is, I don't even want to say it out loud, not real. I don't want to, but I hate to spoil the magic for anybody, but again, I mean, it is interesting to actually look at it, take a step back from just Santa, and look, okay, how did we get this figure as we know him today, and also especially in movies, what's been the kind of the evolution of the depiction of Santa, and it's kind of I was surprised in my research.
Can we get the history of the Martians?
Dude, we should. Well, you know what? That's what we're gonna have to do in next year. We're gonna have to do more point counterpoint. I'm gonna come with one set of facts. You're gonna come with another set of facts, and we're gonna butt heads
we're gonna talk
Ebert
about aliens during Christmas
the whole time. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we could debate that for hours. And not even talk about the movie. No. But it's Santa Claus. It's some pretty wild stuff, and of course we're gonna have facts about the movie tonight, facts about the making of it, the people involved, also some interesting stuff, and of course, as always, Evan brings us a delicious beverage to pair with the evening's film in a little segment which we call
What are you drinking?
What are we going to be drinking on this cheery holiday evening, Evan?
Well, tonight, I wish that we had smell-o-vision and everyone could smell the lovely aroma we've got cooking here in the studio. Tonight we're making some very seasonal mulled wine.
Yep. Yes, mulled wine.
Yeah,
it sounds kind of weird, but it smells delicious.
It does, and I've never had this before.
Me neither.
Yeah, so it's red wine, brandy, apples, cinnamon, various other spices, a little bit of honey. So I've got this cooking in I've got a cauldron up here. It's got some mulled wine bubbling away.
Yeah, that's
hopefully not destroy the camera when I go off screen.
Yeah, any kind of rapid movement freaks your camera out. It has a seizure and freezes up. I don't know why it's crazy. The steaming sound that you heard earlier was Evan's crock pot going. I was afraid it was about to explode mulled wine all over the studio, but I think we're all right. I think you were able to relieve the pressure. It is a pressure cooker, right? You got over there. I mean, it's definitely doing the job. And no, you whipped it right up, man. I mean, it's like, and we were kind of, when you introduced the recipe on Wednesday after the show, we started talking about we've heard of mulled wine as a kind of traditional Christmas beverage, and is that, does that come from the English traditions of Christmas, which I didn't do any research on that.
It's more of a thing in Europe, I think, than it is in North America.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure people do it over here, but I had never. I mean, we've got a 2-for-2 anecdotal evidence of we don't know what this is. So
what are you gonna do? It's still we're about to find out.
Yeah.
By tasting it.
But it looks delicious. These glasses are hot, so you got to be careful.
Great. Yes. Oh God, yeah, I forgot that we probably should have done mugs, shouldn't we?
I think it'll
be all right? The glasses aren't gonna explode on
I hope
us,
not.
I remember. Stop the show.
I've got hot wine in my lap.
Burning. I mean, we'll find out. We'll see what happens. I certainly hope not. Should we take a minute to let this cool?
We probably should. It's very hot. It's
steaming
piping hot right out of the oven.
You can see
out of
the
the cauldron.
apples in there, the apple slices, and it's those spices. Just it's not too strong. It's a nice aroma. It sits in your nostrils. But it's very good. I am excited to try it, but definitely need to let it cool down a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's
it'll just give everybody at home time to make their own.
Yes, please
just
do.
Whip it right up. We know you've got
all the ingredients
laying right there.
Go ahead. And even if you don't, just get any bottle of wine in your house, red, white, it doesn't matter.
Just put it
Throw
on
it in
the
the crock pot. Put it in throw it in
Put some wine in your crock pot.
Put some wine in your crock pot. Drink some hot wine. It's delicious. I need to. Every time we recommend things that the audience definitely shouldn't do, I should probably run some kind of disclaimer scrolling at the bottom. This is satire. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, no, this is gonna be delicious when it cools off. So hopefully don't let it get too cold, because then we're in the North Pole scenes in this movie. What am I gonna have to keep me warm?
Yeah, I'm sure it's probably pretty cold on Mars.
I would think so. Yeah, isn't the water that's up there just frozen? Isn't that what the theory is?
That's all the aliens are frozen.
Aliens, yeah, that's the thing. Once they
Martians,
gotta get there and start thawing them out. Yeah, no, it's interesting. This movie comes from 1964, so you definitely are kind of in the heart of science fiction space race kind of ideas. And the idea of aliens, Martians in particular, that's all was very popular at this time. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of wild to take that and let's put a holiday spin on this. And this is all the brainchild of the producer, Paul Jacobson. He said that he came up with the story and he called it a Yuletide science fiction fantasy.
Okay, those are some words.
Yeah, those are some words, some pretty big words. And he said he made it because he perceived a gap in the market. And
he's not wrong.
Particularly so there's a quote. Then all this comes from Wikipedia. I mean, we've talked about the depths of my research, but this quote, he said, except for the Disneys, there's very little in film houses that children recognize as their own. So that was his motivation behind coming up with the, let me read this right again, Yuletide science fiction fantasy that is Santa Claus Conquers the Martians.
Yeah, there's definitely no one else had that idea.
No, that's what I'm saying.
It was right. There was a gap in the market for this particular film.
It is, I felt like I had to preface that right off the jump. This is, how does an idea like this even come up with? There's your answer. Give that to you right away because I know everybody was wondering.
Well, I think the better question is, how does an idea like this get funded?
It's actually a pretty good question. Again, so we have talked this season and definitely in the past seasons about regional films, right? And tonight's film comes out of New York, just like last year's Christmas special, Silent Night, Bloody Night. That was filmed, I think, in, don't quote me on this, Rochester, somewhere in New York. And so I think that there was, in the 60s, 70s, you do have some independent producers in New York, television, because obviously the television industry was really big in New York. Evan, your glasses are fogging up. Oh, that's great. That's amazing. So I think, I think that it wasn't hard finding investors up there. Again, obviously you have theater being very big at New York, Broadway, which is where a lot of the actors in tonight's film, apparently, they don't have a lot of film credits, but a lot of them had some Broadway experience. Even some of the child actors. So we'll get into all that tonight. We'll get into the facts of the film, of course, like I said, Santa Claus, and also just, kind of Christmas movies, fantasy, kind of sci-fi. The kind of the origins of how do you get a film like tonight's film? Where does that come from? Because it's Christmas stories are kind of, there's a lot of similar threads which can be traced back to a few things. So we'll get into all that tonight. It's actually a lot of fun. Last year we focused solely on like Christmas slashers. Tonight we're getting into more of the traditional like facts of the mythology and folklore of Christmas and how that translates to the movies. So it's something different,
Okay, yeah.
It's fun. It'll be fun. I'm very excited.
St. Nicholas was a wandering bishop. He wandered all the way to Mars.
Yep. Who knew? Who knew that? All you need is a good pair of sandals, and you'll get wherever you need to go.
Well, there we go.
Well, anything before we get into it tonight,
Evan? Rudolph 2024.
Put the version of Rudolph in the cartoon in the pre-roll tonight. The scary looking one. All right, then without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the exciting beginning of this year's Christmas special feature presentation, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, right now. It was released by Avco Embassy, which was a relatively prominent distribution company. The film theirs we've seen before is Jesse Jameson's Francis. What's a good Christmas movie without a jaunty title? When we hear sleigh bells ring, our hearts go ting-a-ling, 'cause there'll be presents under the tree. Hooray for Santa Claus! Now all year long at the North Pole, it's good. It's good. It's good. Just what you're doing, so you better. Vandal brings up, she is the girl Martian in the film, Girl Mar. And then what do you think the boy Martian's name is? Boy Mar.
Are they the only Martians?
I think maybe their dad's name is Falmar. I don't know. We'll find out. Yeah, and Brody, we will get into some of the Pia Zadora's. We'll talk about some of her later in the show. It's like the only cast member that went on to do other things. Not good things, but other things.
At this time, station KID TV brings you the special event of the year.
You know this guy's got a file on him in the police department. You would hope so.
At this very moment, KID TV has standing by a television crew at Santa Claus Workshop. And in just a few seconds, our special correspondent, Andy Henderson, will bring you a person-to-person interview with Santa Claus himself direct from the North Pole, where at the moment, the temperature is 91 degrees below zero. And now KID TV takes you via Telstar, Andy Henderson at the North Pole.
Hi, kids. This is Andy Henderson at the North Pole. Ooh, it's cold up here. From this spot, there's only one direction you can go, and that's south. Living up here is pretty rough. I don't see how Santa stands it. Since we've been here,
I'm
we've
standing it with a nice flask of brandy.
At least that's the way it is by the time we get it. And now, let's take a look-see into Santa's workshop. Hello again. Boys and girls, it's just weeks before Christmas, and Santa and his helpers are working overtime to make sure that there's enough toys for the kids all over the world. Santa's a pretty busy man, but I'm sure he'd like to say a few words to you kids.
Do you think the North Pole has freedom of the press?
Hello, Santa.
No.
Oh, hello, son.
Absolutely not.
Santa's guy's gonna get arrested.
Hello, boys.
Santa's an authoritarian.
Hey, it's Andy. You caught me at a very busy time.
Well, do you think you'll be ready by Christmas Eve?
Well, we've never disappointed the kids yet.
Tell me, is it true that this year there's a rumor that you're going to use a rocket sled?
No, sirree. We're going out the good old-fashioned way with my reindeer. Prancer and Dancer and Thunder and Blitzen and Vixen and Nixon. Nixon, what? I always consonant. I get those names mixed up, but the kids know their names.
Santa, there you are. We have so much to do, and you stand here dawdling, talking to this visitor.
Mr. Anderson, this is Mrs. Claus. We're on television.
How do you do, Mr. Anderson?
Ma'am.
Now, I want you to go and finish painting those hobby horses. Television? Did you say we're on television? Oh, dear. Oh, why didn't you tell me? Oh, my hair's a mess. Hello there.
Come along, Mr. Anderson, and I'll show you some of the new toys we're turning out.
Santa's just,
how's it going, Winky?
Everything is A-OK, Santa.
He's got a gun to his back.
When your boss comes by.
Everything's A-OK.
Rocket fuel.
Really?
He's
I've been wondering, what
Morse
is
code
this
help.
strange little creature over here?
Oh, Winky made that. That's his idea of a Martian.
A Martian?
He's been having these
Wowie,
weird
wow,
dreams
I'd
at
hate to
night.
meet a creature like that on a dark night. I wonder if there really are people on Mars.
Well, who knows?
Well, if there are, I hope they have someone like you up there, Santa, to bring joy and good cheer to all the Martian children.
Oh, Mr. Anders.
Ever seen Santa Claus with short
Christmas
sleeves?
Eve is coming.
No,
soon.
but I kind of
Now,
love
Mr.
the look,
Anderson,
right?
I
He's
wanted
like,
to-
this is working time. This is busy. As we
Gotta
get.
roll my sleeves up.
I like it.
Drapo, you lazy, good-for-nothing, where are you?
Drapo?
Drapo. Drapo, wake up! Wake up!
Oh my god.
Stand up!
Turn up that tickle ray!
Stand
A
up.
tickle ray.
Stand up!
These Martians, man.
Stand up! Stand up!
I'm sorry, Chief Keemar, sir.
Drapo, you are the laziest man on Mars. Why are you sleeping during working hours?
I wasn't sleeping, Chief. It's just that I haven't been able to sleep these last few nights. I forgot how. So I was just practicing.
Nice. I like that. That's a pretty good
Okay,
excuse.
yeah.
I think
Well,
that
I
works.
suggest you practice doing your work. Where's Lady Momar?
Oh, she went to the food pill center to get some new food pills. The children haven't been eating well.
Ah,
No
yes,
appetite at
Soylent
all.
Green.
Oh, it's no wonder. They sit in front of the video set all day watching those ridiculous
Soylent
Earth
Green is
programs.
Martians.
It confuses them. Where are they?
Oh, and they're watching Earth programs.
They're stealing cable.
Say, Santa, what have we here?
I mean,
These are new dolls.
Yes, so,
now,
dude.
this little doll walks, talks, cries, and she even sings.
Almost like a real, live little girl.
That she is, sir. That she is. All she needs is tender, loving care.
Bomar, what is a doll?
Pomar.
I don't know, Gilmar. What is tender loving care? I don't know either.
Bomar, Gilmar. I told you not to watch those silly Earth programs. Now go to sleep.
Must we go to sleep now, Father? I want to see Santa Claus some more. I want to see more toys.
No, go to sleep.
What kind of bed is that?
Now get up on the table and go to sleep.
Bing.
Hello, Droppo. I see you're keeping busy.
Oh, I've been working very hard, Lady Mobar. I've been vacuuming the room.
Good. Is the master here?
Oh, he's in there. And Keemar's very angry, too.
Keemar, I bought some new food pills. I hope the children will eat these. We have hamburger, buttered asparagus, mashed potatoes, and a
What?
special treat for them. Chocolate layer cake pills.
Why are
Momar,
mashed potatoes red?
I'm worried about our children.
What?
So am I. They've hardly
That's
eaten a thing in
Mars.
3 days.
It goes
On
deeper
Mars,
than
potatoes
that.
are red.
They're behaving strangely.
Yes, that
They
makes
appear to be
sense.
troubled. They don't care
Color
to
of the
sleep.
dirt, right?
I had to
there
use
you
the
go.
sleep spray on them again.
Because on Earth, potatoes
I
are
mentioned this to my council chiefs today, and I learned it's the same with children all around the planet, in every district. Something is happening to the children of Mars.
Keemar, as leader of the Martians, you must do something about it.
I know. But what?
Why don't you go to the forest
I'm
and
a
see
father
Chilton, the
first and
ancient
leader
one?
of the Martians
He'll know
second.
what to do. He's never failed you.
You speak wisely. I will go. Attention, council chiefs. Please report.
Lomas reporting. Rignow reporting.
Hargo here. Voldar? Voldar, please report.
Voldar reporting.
Gentlemen of the council, we will meet immediately at Chocham's chair in Thunder Forest.
What's wrong now, Keemar?
I don't know, Voldar, but I mean to find out.
Is this Mars?
Is this the forest?
Who knew there was such lovely forests on Mars? I mean, I guess this is where the spiders on Mars live, right? Spiders from Mars?
Yeah. They were Ziggy's house.
Right. This is all as I always imagined it.
Where's
Where's Kimar? He should be here any moment. What's this all about? We'll find out when Kimar arrives. We are probably going to seek the advice of Chocha. What does Kimar think we are? A kindergarten class? Can't we make our own decisions?
Got him.
Must we always come crawling to that doddering old man?
Chochem is 800 years old. You can't dismiss the wisdom of centuries.
I can.
Gentlemen.
Wow.
Thank you for coming.
I think this guy's the leader because he's the tallest one in the group.
Chochem.
Yeah, that tracks.
Chochem, are you here? Ancient one of Mars, I call upon you. Chochem, it is I, Kimar, and the council chiefs. We need you, Chochem.
Whoa, nice. Oh, dramatic look up.
Yeah, I do actually kind of genuinely like this set.
It's not bad.
You called me, Kimar.
We need your advice, Chochem. Something is wrong with our children. They eat not, they sleep not. Their only interest is watching meaningless Earth programs on the video.
What time of year is it now?
It is the middle of September.
No, not here. I mean on Earth. Ah, yes. It is early December on Earth. Close to the time of the Christmas.
The Christmas.
That explains it.
What is a Christmas?
Occasion for great joy and peace on the planet Earth. And for children, it is also a time of anticipation as they await the arrival of Santa Claus and his gifts.
Bah! What nonsense. What has this to do with our children, Ancient One?
We have no children on Mars. They have children's bodies, but with adult minds. They do not have a childhood. I've seen this coming for centuries. They are born.
No, Brody Vandal,
Our electronic machines are attached to their brains while they are in their cradles.
Is trying to take us. Yeah, our stream was interrupted.
Fed
Okay,
into their
let's
minds
see.
in
Let's
a
try.
constant stream.
I'm gonna have to try.
And by the time they can walk, they are adults.
I'll have to try muting it for a little bit.
They've never played. They've never learned to have fun. And now they are rebelling.
What do you advise?
The children must be allowed to be children
We'll try.
again.
Hopefully we'll come back.
They must learn to play.
As long as we're on Twitch, at least.
Yeah, we're still on
Learn
Twitch.
what it means to have fun.
That's good.
We need a Santa Claus on Mars.
And I'm the man for the job. Need to hide.
Santa Claus on Mars? Will we get a Santa Claus?
There's only one Santa Claus, and he's on Earth.
Ah,
Well, I guess that
such a
takes care of
classic
that.
bad guy.
Didn't I tell you it was a foolish idea to seek advice from that old man?
This is a serious matter, Voldar, and desperate problems require desperate deeds. Earth has had Santa Claus long enough. We will bring him to Mars.
I'm against it. Our children are fine the way they are. I don't want any Santa Claus bringing them toys and games. They'll start playing and laughing and running underfoot. They'll become a nuisance.
I've made my decision. We leave for Earth tonight. Rigna, Lomos, prepare spaceship number 1.
Ah, they already took it down. Damn it! They took it down. I'll be able to argue it. It'll be fine. Yeah. Not worried about it. Not worried about it. We're still on Twitch. We're still going. Still going strong.
This is Flash Gordon.
Yeah, turn it. No, this is Flesh Gordon.
Oh god. For the family.
Approaching projected Earth orbit. Fire. Port side rockets, number 1 and number 2.
Port side rockets, number 1 and number 2. Fired.
Entering Earth orbit. All right, Voldar. Now to find Santa Claus. Turn on your magnascope to 3rd power.
Santa.
We're over a city of some kind.
Yeah, we could probably
So
spot
that's
him from
what
up
the
here.
Earth people call a city, eh? How primitive. Look at all those buildings above ground. Why, we could destroy that city with one blast of our Q-ray.
We've not come here to destroy
Q-ray.
anyone. Our only purpose is to bring Santa Claus back to Mars. Turn to 5th power. Let's see if we can locate Santa Claus.
He's definitely in the city,
Wears a
not in the
red
North
suit,
Pole.
Trimmed with white fur, and he has a long white beard.
But there are millions of people down there.
Were they gonna kidnap the guy at
Speck of
Macy's?
space dust in a comic's tail. Wait a minute. I see him. I see Santa Claus.
I see him too.
They're gonna kill this guy.
No, he's not.
They're gonna blast him to
Standing near
bits
the
with their
entrance of a large
Q-ray.
building next to a large black kettle.
He's standing on the corner, Kima. Wait a minute. I see another one.
Well, there are hundreds of Santa Clauses down there.
Are we going to bring them all back with us to Mars?
Just one. And with so many, they won't miss one. Prepare for landing on next orbit.
We interrupt our program with a special bulletin. An unidentified object has been spotted in orbit around the Earth. The Soviet Union denies it has launched any new space satellites. Our radar stations are tracking the spaceship, or whatever it is. The U.S. Air Force has alerted all defense commands and retaliatory units. Stay tuned for further bulletins.
Oh, fuck. Military's about to get after it. Stock footage. When I say stock, you say footage.
Sir, Earth radar beams are bouncing off our ship.
Well, it certainly took them long enough.
Hold on. Turn on the radar shield.
Misfunctioning of radar shield.
Rigner, check the radar box.
Radar shield functioning. What was wrong, Rigner?
A slight case of Droppo.
Oh, classic Droppo. Is anybody shot?
So I could say goodbye to you, and I remembered. I've never been to Earth, so I thought I wanted to.
But I may leave you there in place of Santa Claus. Now get below. I'll deal with you later. Trouble! Get below quickly!
I'm gonna take you all with me.
Prepare to land. We'll set down in that field near the lake.
Rocket silencers set.
Rotor rockets number 1 and 2, fired. All this trouble over a fat little man in a red suit.
Yep.
Here is another UFO bulletin. The Defense Department has just announced that the unidentified flying object has suddenly disappeared from our radar screens. They believe the object has either disintegrated in space, or it may be a spaceship from some other planet which has the ability to nullify our radar beams.
Sounds like an old jalopy.
Yeah, it really did. It really did. Oh, fuck!
What?
I did the thing again, damn it.
What did you do?
I tried to fix our YouTube problem by submitting an appeal, and they put an arrow that you have to click to type your thing before you click submit appeal, but I'm always thinking submit appeal is going to take me to the thing, but it just submits the appeal.
Fire retro rockets number 5 and 6.
That's what happens when I'm trying to do 2 things at once. I shouldn't do. I was just going to try to get us back up while we were live. I'll have to fight. I'll have to fight it later. It'll be fine.
Lower landing legs.
Why is it so hard to pull those levers?
Attention crew,
I mean,
this is Timar. When we've landed,
the power steering on
you would think that for advanced as they are, that they would have perfected the art of space travel to make it as simple as possible. You wouldn't even have to like use any muscle, but no.
The Defense Department believes that the object spotted on our radar screens might have been nothing more than a meteor which burned up when it entered our atmosphere. Professor Werner von Green, our leading space expert, is still convinced it was a Martian spaceship. Stay tuned for further bulletins.
Billy, what does a Martian look like? I don't know. Nobody's ever seen one. I don't believe there are any Martians. You don't, huh? What would you do if a Martian walked right up behind you? I'd scream.
Nice.
Betty, I'm trying to sleep. I see a Martian.
Want to go hang out in the forest?
Come on, let's go home.
Oh, damn, okay.
We're from Mars.
Family friendly.
Don't be afraid. We have children just like you on Mars.
What are those funny things sticking out of your head?
Those are our antennae.
Are you a television set?
Stupid question.
Blast
Is that what you want to do to our children on Mars? Turn them into nincompoops like these?
Hold your tongue, Voldar. What's your name, little boy?
Billy. Billy Foster, sir.
Boy more.
And this is my sister Betty.
Well, perhaps you can help us, Billy. We're looking for one of your Santa Clauses.
There's only one Santa Claus.
We've seen many of them in your cities.
Oh, those are his helpers. Only
Yeah.
one real Santa Claus, and he's in his workshop up at the North Pole.
That's what we came here to find out. Let's go.
Come on, you two.
All right, take us to him. Lead us.
Successfully interrogated.
What? And leave them here to inform the authorities?
He's right, Kimar. We better take them along with us to the North Pole. Very well. Come along.
These children are enemy combatants.
They're not going to be total liabilities.
This morning, 2 children disappeared mysteriously from the vicinity of Welch Lake. The police have found no clues, and it seems
arguably the worst thing they
have
could
simply
have done.
vanished into thin air. This appears to be a day when everything
Nobody's
is
going to
vanishing
believe 2
into
kids
thin
if they
air.
come and say, yeah,
While
we saw
local police are
Martians.
continuing their search for the missing children, the armed forces are continuing their search for the mysterious object from space.
Oh, that's the same newscaster, too.
You're watching Human News.
All right, Billy and Betty. Nobody's here. Come on in.
Golly!
Now, I'm not supposed to bring you here. The chief's going to be awful mad if he finds us.
Boy, wait till the kids at home find it. I was in a real Martian spaceship.
Now, don't touch anything. Now, here. That's the anti-gravity generator. And these are the retro rockets.
Does this light up?
Only when radar waves are bouncing off our ship. Then we put up this radar screen, then nobody can find us in space.
Boy, that's pretty sharp.
Yeah.
What's this, Joppo?
Oh, that's the elevator signal. That light starts flashing when somebody's coming up from the navigation deck.
Right on cue.
Somebody's coming up.
Quick, hide in the radar box.
No, there's no time for that. Oh, I'm in trouble.
It's Don Knotts ripoff over here.
Do you think this guy also struggles with a little puzzle made of nails?
Yes. Every goofy henchman does.
Thinking of taking another nap in the radar box, Droppo?
No, sir. As a matter of fact, I was just looking in there to remind myself never to hide in there again.
I bet.
Uh-oh.
Approaching North Pole.
Got him.
I can see Santa Claus workshop.
And that is going to take us to our first break. This is the exciting first third of Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. What do we think so far?
I'm having a lot of fun. This movie, it's silly, but, you know, you just don't take it too seriously.
Silly was definitely the first word that came to my head as well. Silly indeed. It's you know, it's ridiculous, and I think purposefully so. When they're aiming for a child audience, they're not afraid to go really big with it.
I like that the conflict of this film seems to be derived from the Martians are just bad parents.
Yeah,
that's kind of the whole thing.
Yeah, it's you know, it should be a lesson to all you parents out there. If you're just letting your kids sit in front of the TV all day, of course they're gonna turn into dead-eyed, emotionless automatons, you know?
We can't have a Santa Claus. I don't want these kids being happy.
You know, I mean, if this is teaching you anything, is you gotta lie to your kids so they'll be happy. You gotta get them to believe in things that aren't real, and, you know, inspire them, put a little hope, a little magic in their life. You know, it's, again, that's such the weird thing about the whole Santa Claus myth, and the fact that it's, you know, just stronger than ever, you know, to this day. It's just kind of something that we all go along with, you know, this idea that this man is bringing people now, you know, electric scooters and hoverboards and
these elves
karaoke machines.
They've really upped their game.
Yeah, well, I mean, state-of-the-art workshop in the North Pole, you know? I mean, the elves, you know, their population, their numbers have never been higher. So, you know what that equals? That's just more workforce for Santa. You can build the toys bigger and better.
It's probably not good for the global warming.
No.
Gotta push out this North Pole factory a little more.
Definitely kind of degrading the, you know, the ozone layer,
the ice shelf.
The ice shelf, yeah, that's why everything's melting.
Yeah, there's your elf on a shelf. You're not gonna have
no more.
Melt.
Yep, it's gonna melt right up. And who is to blame? Santa Claus. Sorry, he's in it for the insurance money.
I'm gonna burn down the earth for the insurance money.
Well, if anybody's got a policy on it, it's Santa. No, it's funny, you know, and again, combining it with the, you know, kind of this science fiction idea of Martians. I mean, it's interesting, and this is, you know, kind of for its time it's contributing to the mythos of Santa Claus in ways that hadn't been universally established up to this point. You know, we saw Mrs. Claus during the news interview segment. Believe it or not, this is actually the first film appearance of Mrs. Claus.
Really?
Yeah. This actually beat out the appearance of Mrs. Claus in the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer stop motion special.
Yeah.
Which was only a few months after this. Same year, 1964. I believe this film was released in November, maybe. So it got the jump on Mrs. Claus. And Mrs. Claus said, yeah, it's kind of surprising, isn't it?
That's pretty cool, actually.
Well, what you would be surprised to learn is that the kind of cinematic history of Santa Claus is in the early 20th century, it's kind of slighter than you would expect. And so that's what we're going to kind of like get into tonight. Of course, you know, you want to go back to the origins of Santa Claus. You made reference to it earlier with Saint Nicholas, right? He is kind of the inspiration for Santa Claus in terms of he was known for his generosity, giving gifts to the poor, right? That was, and he was,
was he a bishop?
Yes, he was a Greek Christian bishop.
What kind of gifts does a bishop have to give?
I'm not sure. That's actually a great question, especially in the...
I mean, I guess if you're a bishop, maybe you're a little better off than just like a
this
priest or whatever.
Before the Middle Ages, so I don't know what he's giving to the poor. Maybe just some food. I mean, that's a good enough gift. Money, There
you go, yeah.
He understood what people really want for Christmas. They just money.
He gave people gift cards.
Right, exactly. That was what saying. He went around giving out gift cards. Who knew? We're learning a lot here tonight. But yeah, and so like during the Middle Ages, it became a thing of children being given gifts in his honor. That's when you start having this idea of giving gifts to children kind of coming into play, and it being in honor of Saint Nicholas is during the Middle Ages.
Okay.
So that the Saint Nicholas Association has stayed pretty strong. And it was on the evening, they would do this on the evening before his like name day, which was December 6th, right? So that it was, before we got the December 25th date, when it was associated with St. Nicholas, it was the 6th. But of course, the idea of giving gifts on Christmas Day, on the birth of Christ, that comes from Martin Luther, actually. He was the one that as an alternative to giving gifts on the 6th, he's like, in, veneration of Christ, we're going to give gifts to the children in honor of his birth.
Was that also nailed to the door?
Yeah, I think that was included on the...
that was one of his...
behind the... I'm not going to say it right.
His grievances.
Yeah, let's just say that.
Was Martin Luther the original Festivus celebrator?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, just a list of just airing his grievances out to everybody. He was definitely dragging an aluminum pole around. Without a doubt.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's where that comes from, obviously.
He was ready to do some feats of strength with the rest of the church.
Yeah. I mean, he obviously was all about, kind of like, I'm the man here. Who wants to stand up to me? I do it my own way. Any you got a problem with it, you come right up here and we'll settle this. We'll settle this the right way.
We'll arm wrestle for Jesus.
Yeah. That's right. And so, but in terms of like the associations with Saint Nicholas, that was kind of, that was kind of the established tradition, I guess, coming out of, like, Greek, Roman kind of traditions. But then when you're looking at England, that's where this whole idea of Father Christmas comes from, right? And what we ultimately get with Santa Claus is ultimately an amalgamation of the whole like Saint Nicholas gift giving thing with this idea of the English Father Christmas, right? So like obviously we'll get to it later, but the 19th, 20th century America's kind of got us what we would eventually know as Santa Claus, but that like kind of came from, I guess, once people got to America, kind of amalgamating all these similar kind of folklore traditions. So in some areas it was Saint Nicholas, but then, in English traditions, it was Father Christmas, who, that was kind of started, I guess, during the times of Henry VIII, actually. And of course, he's depicted kind of like Henry VIII and the, very big man with a beard. And, he was usually pictured wearing some kind of green or scarlet fur-lined robes. And he typified the spirit of good cheer at Christmas time, right? The jolly food, wine, drink, revelry. That was like Father Christmas in England. And, in the Netherlands and in Belgium, they had Sinterklaas, right? So that's where you start to get the name Santa Claus, right? This is from this Sinterklaas. And of course...
Do we have a translation? Like, what does that mean?
Well, I think it's coming from something with Saint Nicholas.
Okay.
I think it is kind of a play on Saint Nicholas. But
so we ran the name through Google Translate and it turned into Santa Claus.
All right, that's essentially that's how they got it. But he's a little. This is Sinterklaas is a little more controversial character, and some of these different versions of Santa Claus.
Bad Boy Santa
in these Scandinavian. Well, it's more that obviously you have this idea of a Santa counterpart, right? So obviously, Krampus, but there's always this idea of like, okay, well, if you're good, you get presents. If you're bad, you get coal, or you get and that's the thing with kind of these like Netherlands, Belgium, these like Scandinavian things. It's you get whipped, right? Like with it, you get like with straw.
Oh my god!
But this is why it's bad because this character Sinterklaas, instead of being assisted by elves, he's assisted by I'm trying to think of a delicate way to put this. Basically a companion named Black Pete, who is kind of what it sounds like.
Okay.
And unfortunately, it was tradition all the way up to very recently that in these other countries that like you have people dressing up as Santa Claus, you'd have people dress up as Black Pete, and it's basically just like blackface. That's essentially what it people would do. Even The Office kind of did a play on that. When Dwight is coming in playing Belschnickel. The character Nate, who is played by Mark Proch, he is like, I can't remember if they show him in blackface or you just see like a little bit of it, and like Dwight like calls him off because like Dwight talks about it, and Daryl is like, Daryl's like obviously can tell this is not good, and then like you see like through the window you see like Mark's character like walking in and then getting a phone call and then like walking back. I think that's how it goes. I'm pretty sure they took it like off, like they took that scene out. Right. So that kind of within the last, like in 2020 was when the support for keeping Black Pete kind of cratered, obviously because of the social unrest in 2020. So then they kind of try to change it to Sooty Pete, where he was covered in soot, right? Because he's handing out coal.
Yeah.
So it's kind of it still
rebrand.
Doesn't really work, but they tried to rebrand it, right? And I mean, again, in terms of like Germanic peoples, it was more like they didn't have, before Christianization, it was Yule, right? They celebrated Yule, and so you start seeing where these words, these like calling Santa Claus, like Saint Nick or Kris Kringle, the word Yule, all these things are coming from like different traditions of Christmas time, or the spirit of Christmas and gift giving, and that's how you eventually get the character of Santa Claus. But it is really North America, the United States, that kind of formed him throughout the 19th and the 20th century. So that's what
it kind of sounds like December, the end of the year. It's cold. It's just a good time to celebrate something because you can't go outside.
Right.
And so over time, everything just kind of mashed together.
Right. And I think, kind of one of the unifying things with all this kind of in terms of especially Christmas narratives and kind of tonight's film, but you can look at a lot of holiday classics and you can kind of trace back this narrative of a character or characters who are having to kind of learn the meaning of Christmas or kind of learn the error of their ways to be able to enjoy the Christmas season. That's kind of a like pretty
Christmas Carol comes to mind.
That was what I was going to say. That's kind of the genesis of that whole, like, that's what did it. Christmas Carol. And Christmas Carol itself kind of introduced traditions.
Do you think Charles Dickens, like, was he probably knew the meaning of Christmas, right? If you write something like that, then if you write something like that, is the motivation, I gotta teach everybody the meaning of Christmas?
I think so. I think he's just bragging about it. He's just like, yep, I know what it's really about. I'm gonna tell you commoners just what now. No, I think he obviously, it's just crazy that the other thing about it that is kind of cool is that it's a supernatural story, right?
Yeah.
You're getting these. So that's the other weird thing about, like,
right at the gate, we got a mashup.
It's kind of the weird thing about, like, with Christmas narratives too, is a lot of even Christmas time stories, novels, and movies that don't even deal with Santa Claus, they usually will incorporate some kind of supernatural element.
Yeah, well, Christmas is kind of supernatural to begin with.
Right.
Because, I guess Easter is more supernatural, but...
Yeah, but there's still, again...
There's angels and stuff involved.
That's where I think the supernatural, the idea of that being acceptable holiday, like, subject matter, I think really comes from A Christmas Carol. And so what you have is, in terms of movies, and as we get into our break, we're getting to our trailers. In terms of movies, you didn't have a lot of, like, during the classic golden age of Hollywood, you didn't have a lot of Santa Claus movies. You really didn't. You had a fair amount of supernatural themed comedy, drama, romance films that took place at Christmas time, right? Of course, one that comes to mind, the first one obviously is It's a Wonderful Life, where the character, an angel comes to him and shows him what his life would be like if he had never been born. And so by the end, he can appreciate everything that he has during, on Christmas, and it all takes place on Christmas Eve, right? And so you get a fair amount of that in Golden Age Hollywood, where there's, like, ghosts or angels or things trying to help or assist somebody in need during Christmas. And so the first trailer we're going to get is for a 1940 movie entitled Beyond Tomorrow, which is kind of this weird, odd little film, which is public domain, we may watch it at some point for our holiday special, but it's basically about, it's kind of weird. It's these three old, like, rich guys who, like, seemingly all live together, and they're super rich. They're, like, looking at their stocks as they're, like, enjoying Christmas Eve, but they're lonely, right? So they decide to, like, throw their wallets out into the street, and they're like, okay, whoever brings our wallets back, like, let's invite them to share our Christmas dinner with us and share drinks. And
I feel like that's making a huge assumption.
Well, it works out because, the one wallet is brought back by this, like, very attractive girl, and then another wallet.
How many wallets did they have to throw before anyone came back?
Well, they threw out three. I'm pretty sure one of them didn't make it back. But the two of them did come back. So one of them, attractive young woman, another one, folksy country boy. This is in New York City, so he's visiting New York City. And so obviously these two young people are hitting it off, and the old men are kind of like, nudge it, like, oh, and they're all just having a great time. Well, then like, so they all become great friends. They're hanging out all the time. This young couple and these old people and their friends. But then the old men die in a plane crash.
What?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
I guess I'm kind of spoiling it, but not really, because this all happens within the first third. It's not the whole idea of the movie is they're ghosts and they're trying to get the couple to like get together, but there's things threatening them being together. Okay. And so the ghosts have to, and they're also like, they can't pass on to the other side.
Yeah.
They're realizing they have to do something good because they were like rich and miserly. They're like, oh, we got to do something good to be able to go to the other side. So it's like actually a really like sweet kind of, it's a supernatural thing because they're ghosts. And I stumbled upon it like 2 or 3 years ago on Tubi and was pleasantly like surprised. I enjoyed it. So that's the first trailer we're gonna see, and then the second trailer we're gonna see is for a film from 1947 called The Bishop's Wife, which is basically about an angel that comes to help this like bishop who's kind of like a dick, I guess. But the angel, like the bishop's wife, kind of falls in love with the angel, but obviously they can't be together. And so there's like a weird, and like you don't know.
Forbidden love.
It's weird. Cary Grant plays the angel. He's great, and David Niven's in it. It's a good cast, but this trailer sucks because it has nothing to do with the movie. It's just the 3 actors playing themselves, like running around the lot being like, oh, we got to make a trailer for the movie. Oh, well, like, what if the movie doesn't have a trailer? What if this is the trailer?
We got a meta trailer.
It's annoying. And the thing was, I wanted to show a trailer for the 1947 film Miracle on 34th Street, which has or may not have Santa Claus as a character. But it's the same thing where the trailer is not about the movie. It's like this whole narrative of this executive who's looking at a trailer for the movie, isn't interested in it, and then is going around the lot running into all these celebrities who are like, have you seen the movie yet? It's great. And then they're saying all the things that rule about it. And the guy's like, oh, like by the end, he's like, I should go see this movie. And he watches it and he loves it. And they don't show anything from the movie. They don't even mention that it's about Santa Claus, which this will get into in the second break, this idea that there seems to be like some hesitancy to embrace Santa Claus during the like a large part of the 20th century in film. But we'll talk more about that later. But we're going to get these 2 trailers, and then when we come back, we'll get into the exciting middle of Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Sometimes I get homesick, too, for someone who really loves me, the way a woman wants to love.
Every word is figured out. I want someone who really loves me, like a woman wants to be loved. Oh, and him taking it hook, line, and sinker.
Jimmy, a man can spoil his life over a woman. I know our friends wouldn't like you to go away with this girl.
Sure, and if he's worth loving at all, he's worth fighting for. Now go to him, and when he sees you, his heart will remember. Who wouldn't celebrate? He's getting his chance.
Yeah, a chance to get mixed up with a lot of shoddy people who turn his head and make a fool of him. He'll drink too much and laugh too much.
I dream of Jeannie with the light brown hair, born like a vapor on the summer air. I see her where the bright streams play.
As soon as I get a decent job, we can get married.
Jim, you just proposed to me.
What? I did. Well, it's all right, isn't it?
Darling.
Hollywood, California, and the studios where the distinguished pictures that bear the name of Samuel Goldwyn are produced. Such films as The Best Years of Our Lives, winner of 9 Academy Awards. It was in these very studios that we recently tried to make a trailer for a new and wonderful picture called The Bishop's Wife. You know what a trailer is. One of those little films you see at your theater which shows you scenes from some big picture that's coming soon. Well, we made the big picture, and it's on its way. But something happened to the little one. It was on the day we finished all work on The Bishop's Wife. The stars were on their way home.
Well, looks like it.
Yes, great sound better.
Goodbye, Gary. It's wonderful working with you. Goodbye, David. See you very soon.
Very soon, I hope.
Goodbye, David. See you tonight.
Oh, that's right.
Whoa!
What about the trailer?
Trailer?
I forgot all about it.
Well, they must be set up somewhere. Where are they?
Say 6.
No, I think they're on 8, David.
8? Oh,
Yes,
go. Come on.
Just a minute, folks. I'm sorry. Can't go in without a pass.
Oh, well, you see, we work here. That is, we just finished over there, now we...
All right, so you're finished. There's no one stopping you from leaving.
You don't understand. We still have to make the trailer.
Well, I'm sure you wouldn't want to stop us from telling people about a great picture like The Bishop's Wife.
Have you seen it?
Well, no, not exactly, but...
Then how do you know it's great?
Well, we had a lot of fun making it, and that's always a very good sign.
Well, look, maybe so, but I'm new here. I don't know you folks, unless you got a pass.
I'm David Niven, and I play the Bishop.
And I'm Loretta Young, and I play the Bishop's wife.
And I'm Cary Grant. I play... Oh, that's right.
Yeah, wait a minute. What's the matter?
Well, nobody's supposed to know what part I play until they see the picture.
Right.
Then what do you need of the trailer?
Well, we'd like folks to come in and see the picture. It's very fine, and it's quite the most unusual picture Sam Goldwyn has ever made.
Oh, yeah. It's full of surprises.
Oh, please.
Well, if you put it that way.
Thanks, officer.
I've got an idea.
What?
The Bishop's Wife is different. Let's keep it that way. Let's have no trailer.
Oh, David, a picture without a trailer?
No, that's it. Why take all the wonderful surprises out of it before people see it?
All right, sold. No trailer.
No trailer.
Oh, wait a minute.
Goodbye.
And we are back. So that was the trailers for Beyond Tomorrow and The Bishop's Wife. Again, yeah, supernatural Christmas time movies were pretty popular back in those days. Brody Vandal found us on Twitch. Yeah.
There he is.
He got over here. Yes. Yeah, a picture without a trailer. What? Yeah, I mean, again, that's the crazy thing about Miracle on 34th Street, the original version, is it's the same thing where there's not really a trailer showing you anything about the movie. You don't know that there's this whole plot line about is this man or is this man not Santa Claus?
I feel like you could use that trailer to sell any movie.
Yeah, it's kind of it shows you that they were afraid to market the material as is.
Yeah.
That by saying like what it was about or what it had would turn off a certain audience or keep people out. Even despite, like, again, that movie having been a huge star like Cary Grant, it's like they were afraid.
Interesting marketing strategy. We're gonna hint at our product.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of, it's something that seems to happen with these supernatural themed films, but also again with a lot of holiday films with Santa Claus during the 20th century. It changed, but for a long time it kind of seemed like people were afraid to really sell Santa Claus, a movie like with Santa Claus being the main draw, and it's kind of a wild thing. Because
Enter Coca-Cola.
Well, and so that's the thing, and that's, you know, as we get into the second half of the show, we'll talk about kind of how they got that image, their popular image fits into the whole creation of Santa as we know him today. But we're gonna see what Santa's about to do when these Martians come knocking on his door, because they've got their sights set on his workshop, so they're gonna be landing any minute. Anything before we land into the exciting middle of this movie.
Do you think Saint Nicholas would be a Coke or a Pepsi guy?
That's a good question. I'm gonna say he's gonna surprise us all, and he's gonna be a big RC Cola guy. That's what I think. He doesn't like either.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and give you a fact now, a little known fact. Pepsi also used Santa in their Christmas advertising during the, like, I think 40s and 50s, or like for a few decades during the early 20th century. In the same way that Coca-Cola did. They just stopped after a certain point.
And his suit was blue, but it was black and white, so you couldn't tell.
Yes, yeah, we'll talk all about the myths surrounding Santa's costume. Got a lot of fun facts for you. But I think on that note, we're gonna go ahead and get into the exciting middle of Santa Claus Conquers the Martians right now.
Prepare for landing. Hargo, set the rocket silencers. Bravo! You stay aboard and guard those children. They must not leave the ship now.
Now or ever?
What do you mean, Voldar?
If we take them with us to Mars, Santa's disappearance will remain a mystery. No one on Earth will ever know that Santa Claus was kidnapped by Martians.
I mean, until Christmas.
Perhaps you're right.
Yeah. When people aren't getting their presents, you better believe they're going to get in the bottom
out of your
line.
sight. Understand?
Yes, sir, I understand. I'll keep an eye on them.
Trying to figure out who this guy reminds me of. Fucking Droppo. Who's Droppo remind me of? I have made a Don Knotts comparison, but
Prepare the ship.
there's something else.
Lomas, you remain
This
on
reminds me
guard
of
and have the
sports.
ship ready for immediate blast-off. Rigna, Hargo, Voldar, you'll accompany me. Come. We'll activate Torg.
Torg?
Torg?
To capture a roly-poly little man like Santa Claus? We don't need Torg.
We won't take any chances. Come. Nothing can stop Torg.
We know. Yeah, this can't be good. Droppo is the creamer of Mars. That's very good, Brody. I love that. Yeah. That's who he's reminding me of.
What's the talk? I don't know, but I'm not afraid of it. It's not going to stop us. Come on. Wait, Betty.
Got him.
Why did you do that? If this ship ever leaves Earth, I'll have the Hollywood Space Force after them. Come on. Wait a minute.
Wow. So this film not only had the first film appearance of Mrs. Claus, it also predicted the Space Force.
That was a fact on the IMDb page that I did not write down, but I believe it is the truth. It did indeed. By about 60 years. I do love this set. I love the lighting and the asbestos snow.
Yeah, it feels kind of like, it's like Star Trek, but like more atmospheric.
Yeah, they're definitely, they've got some skilled technicians with the lighting.
Backlight.
Yeah. Somebody's doing some good work.
That ladder's a little shaky.
Only a little bit. It's gonna, like, right at the end of the tank, you're gonna see, they're gonna cut right before this guy starts to fall off. I would love a jump cut.
This action must take place swiftly. We can't afford to make any mistakes. Argo, you cover the rear of the workshop. Rigna, Voldar, cover the
Certainly
front
you
end.
won't notice our
I'll
giant
direct
spaceship
Torg.
just landed.
Voldar isn't here. Rigna, go up and tell Voldar.
It's very inconspicuous on its
Voldar, this is
15-foot
another one of your
legs.
delaying tactics. You've been opposing me at every turn. Now I'm warning you, change your attitude. You finished, Chief? Yes, I am, and you will be too if you're not careful.
Oh, but I am careful, Chief. So careful that I looked in at the children before I left the ship.
You stay away from those children.
That'll be easy to do. They've escaped.
Goldar, if this is your idea of a joke...
Ask Drapo. They overheard our plans. At this very moment, they're on their way to Santa Claus to warn him.
It's true, Kima. They're footprints.
We must stop them. Those children mustn't reach Santa Claus. Follow them. I'll put Torg on the trail. Torg, come out of the spaceship.
All right.
Torg, come out of the spaceship.
Big reveal. Oh, come on.
Billy, I can't run anymore. I'm cold, and I'm tired, and it's beginning to snow. Please, Betty.
Beginning to snow?
We've got to want Santa.
It's already done snowed, little girl.
He might catch us. Where is Santa? I don't know. His workshop must be somewhere around here.
The North Pole can't be that big.
Betty, look! It's Goldar! He's the mean one!
Mr.
Oh, we don't
Grinch.
like him.
He really is a heel. So you know what this ray gun is that he has?
What is that?
It's actually a toy. It's a children's toy. You know what it is? It is a... Let me get this right. Wait, what? Yes. Oh, come on. I want more polar bear
He
action.
ran away, but boy, that was a narrow escape. Why did he run away? I don't know.
So they're air blasters by Whammo.
Nice.
Oh yeah, just go right in his cave. You'll be completely safe. I'm Vincent Price. Try Sun Country wine coolers. If you haven't seen that commercial where Vincent Price is dressed up in a polar bear outfit, hawking fucking wine coolers, it's great. It looks like the same damn costume.
Don't move, Betty.
Vincent Price, that was his costume. He owned it, and they hired him regularly to be in productions. He was the man in the costume. Talk about our gorilla actors, but we never talk about our polar bear actor, and who else would it be but Vincent fucking Price?
I'm cold. I wish it wouldn't snow. That's the best thing that could happen. It'll cover our tracks and be hard for the Martians to find us.
Billy's some kind of Boy Scout or something.
Workshop. I'm scared.
It's so easy to remember Billy and Betty. Honestly, I have a hard time with the names of characters in movies I haven't seen, but of course this little boy is named Billy. Of course the little girl is.
Oh shit.
Where? Right there. See the light? Where? The lights are moving.
Sex robot. Sex robot.
Oh no.
Betty, that's not Santa's house. What is it? I don't know.
You can tell this guy can't see shit. That's my favorite thing about actors in robot costumes. You can always tell they have no clue where they're going.
Alright, just walk forward. Just walk forward. Oh no.
Good work, Tog. Now destroy them. Crush them. Crush them, Tog. Do as I say.
Goldar, I knew you'd try something like this. I set Torg's control so he will obey only me. Release him, Torg. You were very lucky. Now don't try to escape again. You may not be so lucky next time. Hargo, take them back to the ship, lock them up, and rejoin us.
You won't get away with this, you Martians!
Ooh. The danger grows with every minute. Let's get Santa Claus and blast off. We'll surround the workshop and send Torg in to get Santa. Nobody is to be harmed unless they get in our way.
No one is to be harmed. What has happened to the great warriors of our planet? Mars used to be the planet of war. Mark my words, Kima.
I didn't join the military to not harm
will
people.
Destroy us. Santa Claus, toys, games, laughing children.
Well, we shall see. But for now, to your posts. Torg, follow me.
Crashes into the camera. I'd love to see the end of this take. Still got his sleeves rolled up.
Get in, Torg.
Hey Santa, you know all these little toy robots you've been making? Well, I'm not happy about it. You're coming with me.
All right.
Fuck yeah. Wait.
Square up.
Where did you come from? You're the biggest toy I've ever seen. And very well made, too.
By the great dog Star, Santa's treating him like a toy. Get him, Torg. Grab him. He's become a toy. Rigna, we'll have to get Santa ourselves. Come on, Voldar.
Santa's too powerful.
I guess so.
What have we here?
Yeah, Brody Vandal. I think that's definitely it. He's just got that vibe about him.
Yeah, whoa, what is this? Some kind of robot?
I mean, you gotta be smoking sativa if you're gonna be doing all this work. You're definitely not smoking indica, that's for sure.
Why did you have to do that to my helper?
It's harmless. It'll wear off in a short while.
Oh. Well, why didn't you say so in the first place?
Now, you come with us. We need you on Mars.
I thought you killed him. These are my two best guys.
Are you sure this is harmless?
Oh,
they're gonna freeze her
saw
too.
Such lazy people standing around like
oh,
statues.
S-Sync, I totally forgot. Thanks for mentioning that.
Forget it, Kima.
When we were trying to deal with the YouTube problem,
best to leave him here.
We had to turn the volume
Believe
off.
me,
So
I had nothing whatsoever to do about this. You know, my dear, I can't recall a time when you were so silent for so long.
Let's go, old man.
He's just been yapping and yapping. Classic 60s joke. My wife. This is the most cartoonish, like.
And Mrs. Santa Claus has positively identified the kidnappers as Martians. Never in the history of mankind have the nations of the world reacted with such unanimity and cooperation. Tonight, the lights will burn until dawn in the United Nations building, as the leaders of the world map a course of action. And at Cape Kennedy, our correspondent interviewed Werner von Green, the man in charge of America's Starshot program.
Some green men came in and took my husband.
What is the space agency doing about this?
Well, they have mobilized all the men and equipment in our Starshot project. And we have rushed our astronauts into an intensive program for the final phase of their training. Now our Starshot ship is supposed to undergo 6 months of test flights. But we are going to forget about the testing and go after those Martian monkeys. Isn't that risky? Of course it is risky. But every one of our astronauts is begging for the chance to go after the Martians. Who wouldn't give everything
Let me at them. They took Santa. I want a piece of those Martians. They all turned into Great use of stock footage, I gotta say. Look at her go. Look at the Space Force doing their job. Movie's so ahead of its time, man.
Earth hasn't reacted yet. No radar beams being bounced off our ship. Looks like we made a clean getaway. How's our captain?
He's having the time of his life. He's such a funny little man. Why, I've only been with him for 5 minutes, and he has me laughing just like an earthling. What's soft and round, and you put it on a stick, and you toast it in a fire, and it's green?
I don't know, what?
A marshmallow!
Wow.
That's what you're all becoming.
Doesn't take much.
Marshmallows. Soft. Weak. That old man is a menace.
And it was a very
time to separate the wheat from the chaff.
Well, I could barely make out this chimney in the fog.
He's all
But I
chaff.
found it all right, and I started to crawl in. Well, I tell you, it was the biggest chimney I'd ever been in. And then suddenly I realized it wasn't a chimney at all. It was the smokestack of the Queen Elizabeth. Well, don't you think that was funny?
Santa has been smoking something.
Well, why don't you laugh?
Gee, Santa, it's all our fault. We told them where to find you.
Oh, boulder
failed
dashing
you,
a
Santa.
fiddle-dee-dee, Billy boy. Everybody knows where Santa lives. Besides, I've always wanted to visit Mars.
Mommy and Daddy are going to be angry.
You think that's something? I can just see Mrs. Claus now. Christmas coming, and I'm not there. She'll have a fit.
Waiting for the door to fly off the hinges.
Oh, me, oh, my, oh, me.
Come and get it. Dinner time.
Here's Droppo. If I can't cheer you up, Droppo can. He always makes me laugh.
Oh, you'll have a wonderful dinner tonight. Oh, there's soup and beef stew and chocolate ice cream.
No, thank you, Droppo. I'm not hungry.
Come on, Billy. Oh. Well, is it all right if I have your chocolate ice cream?
Sure.
Oh, I just love chocolate ice cream.
Gee, Mars must be a terrible place to live. Some chocolate ice cream.
Pills for dinner. I suppose if a Martian has a headache, he doesn't take pills. He takes chocolate ice cream. Oh dear.
Wow.
Came on, look at this.
Tough crowd.
That small blip is not an asteroid, it's
Boy.
a spaceship, and it's on our tail. It's getting closer. Impossible, Rigna. They couldn't have spotted us. We have our radar shield on.
I know that, sir, but they are gaping on us.
Is it possible Earth has a secret device that can penetrate our radar shield?
They have a secret device, and his name
children.
is Billy Foster. I warned you that these Earthlings are dangerous. They'll destroy
Earth's
us if we
greatest
allow
weapon.
them. Well, I won't allow them.
I think we underestimate the resourcefulness of these Earth people. Very clever of the boy. Make the repairs, Rigna. I'll take evasive action.
Uh-oh.
Well,
He's the mean one.
and how is Santa and the little Earthlings? My, it must be tiresome cooped up in this little room. Say, how would you like to see the rest of the ship?
You're not fooling me. You don't like us. You're mean.
Oh, come on now, that's not true. Why, Santa makes everyone feel good, even me.
I don't trust you.
No, Billy boy.
You tell him.
That's
Billy.
not the Christmas spirit. Why, of course, Boldar. We'd love to take the grand tour. All right, children.
What are you looking right at the camera for, Voldar? Got him.
And
This
this is
room
the
is
airlock.
called-
Slam.
That's right.
Sure. This is where you come when you're ready to go out in space. It's airtight. You put on your spacesuit and go out through that door. When you come back, the door closes and they pump air back into the room through there. When it reaches the pressure of the rest of the ship, you can take your spacesuit off.
You got it, Billy. Keep going. You're doing
Where's
great.
the control that opens the door, son?
Not here. That's in the control deck. You see, once you pull that switch, the warning bell sounds, and in 60 seconds, that door opens.
That's to give a spaceman a chance to make a final checkup on their equipment. There's no air out in space. If that door were open now, it will pull all the air out of this room and us with it.
You certainly know a great deal about space travel, son.
He's going to be a spaceman when he grows up.
Maybe sooner than that.
Santa,
That's why he has the mustache.
60 seconds. That must be the door timer.
Walks backwards.
Santa, he locked us in.
Oh, I don't think so. He probably just stepped out for a moment.
It's locked. I like those Voldar.
Santa's
He's
very
not like Kira and the others. I don't like him. I'm worried, Santa.
Now, children, let's not get excited.
It's Voldar. He's going to open the space door. Help, Timon! Timon, help!
Nobody come in hell. Nobody come and bang on this door and scream with me. I'll take care of it myself. I'm the only one that does anything in this damn movie.
Yeah, Billy, our hero.
Yeah, I mean, really. Billy's like more active than most of the heroes we get on this show.
Got a chance.
Where did you say this leads to, Billy?
Oh, the master of sliding through tight spaces. For lack of better words.
0. Who's in the airlock?
No one. Now.
What's going on, Voldar?
Chief, Santa and the children are missing.
Where are they?
Drifting around in space. Along with the rest of the space junk.
Fight scene.
Before I'm through with you, Voldar, you wish you were floating around out there in space.
Merry Christmas, everyone!
Santa Claus, you're all right. I thought you would...
Well, when Voldar accidentally left us in the airlock and then came up here
Billy
and
looks like he's not trying not
through
to
the door
lose
switch,
it.
we knew we had to get out of there in a hurry, or that would be the end of us. Accidentally, of course.
So you crawled out through the air duct.
The air duct?
But the air duct is just a little... And you're so big.
Why, you're talking to Santa Claus, son.
But how?
Well, now, you wouldn't want me to tell my secret, would you? oh, poor man. He's fainted, just like someone who's seen a ghost.
Ominous Santa. All the laughing in this movie. Yeah, this is some Star Trek level effects. They're not terrible. Not great. But
Lower landing leg.
dirt. Yeah,
Rigna,
Star Trek
after we
definitely
secured the
shaky.
ship, you can lower the ladder You and Hargo get Boldar out of the brig and take him to the
Shaking the
council
camera
room.
around, too.
You stand trial immediately.
Right, Chief. Yeah.
We've landed. Hatch open. Hatch open. Ladder down. Power off. Ship secure.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Merry Christmas, Boldar.
Who's that, Boldar?
All right, on your feet, come on.
What?
Droppo! I was handing these food pills through the bars, and he grabbed my...
Shut up, Droppo. Kima, come in quickly. Kima? Yes, Regner.
Boldar has escaped.
What?
He's gone. That can only mean trouble.
Put a constant guard on
A lot of
Santa and the
conviction
Earth
in
Children.
that,
Boldar will be back.
Really sad.
And that is gonna take us to our second break. Well, that's the middle. So what are we thinking so far, Evan?
It's just still pretty interesting. I feel like it's in a little bit of a lull now that we're in space.
For
but
sure.
The bit with the airlock was pretty. I mean, that's pretty intense.
There was some tension there.
Gonna kill Santa Claus.
Yeah, ready to take them all out, and again, Santa. I mean, don't even leave like this size of a hole in a room you don't want him to get out of, because man's gonna get out. He's I mean, it's the logical question that everybody asks at some point. How the hell does Santa
He's just gonna slip through a seam in the wall.
Well, yeah. I mean, the only answer, of course, is magic. Although as a kid, I definitely tried to rationalize it that he must just come through the back door, because there's no way he's fitting through that chimney.
Yeah. Well, did you have a chimney growing up?
Yeah, we had
We
had a few, but I'm pretty sure all of them but one were blocked off.
Yeah.
So there's only one that we used, and even then it was let out to just a more of a tiny stove. It wasn't like a big open chimney. So there's that was just he ain't coming through that tiny little stove.
Yeah, I assumed he came down through the exhaust fan vent, because we didn't have a chimney, but that was kind of the closest thing.
Makes sense, right? I mean, if his sleigh is landing on the roof,
Yeah.
there's got to be some access point up top, even if it's a tiny little space. Yeah, it's always funny to think about the logistics of Santa's journey on Christmas Eve. And it's, again, I mean, we are talking about, we've been talking about kind of the origins of Santa, but we haven't really gotten to how he became the Santa that we know and love, right? Kind of talked about what inspired him, but again, like we said, it really started to come together in North America during the 19th century. And essentially, it was in the United States press in 1773 that the name Santa Claus was first printed. So that's the thing. The calling in Santa Claus dates from the 1770s United States. So it's definitely a lot of the folklore that we now get, it's all kind of generated from the United States. And it was kind of in conjunction with the original publication of The Night Before Christmas, right? So that was originally titled A Visit from St. Nicholas. And it was, I think there were some illustrations, I'm not sure, but it was printed in the Troy, New York Sentinel in 1823. That was when the first Night Before Christmas kind of telling and the kind of, I guess, as Santa's described in that story, kind of, you start getting some of the myth being made again, landing on the, rooftop and coming at you, it's kind of within a span of about 50 years that you go from first getting the name Santa Claus to, and he's landing on your roof and he has these 8 reindeer.
And he's kissing your mother.
And he's kissing your mom. He's smooching her. But so about like 20 years after that is when you start seeing the name Kris Kringle pop up. And that was like, it was pretty interchangeable to say Santa Claus or Kris Kringle in the United States at that time. And that's when the first artists kind of started drawing images of Santa Claus that were kind of what we know today, the modern image. And it was a artist named Thomas Nast, who was an American cartoonist, and he did an illustration for the magazine Harper's Weekly in 1863 during the Civil War. Kind of crazy.
Wow.
Where Santa was dressed in an American flag. Forgot to add that little bit.
Do you know if he based it on a particular person, or
I did not find that. Again,
made it up.
The Father Christmas kind of image, I think, is where they draw the beard and the kind of large frame and the being decked out in red velvet and fur-lined coat. Like, that all is Father Christmas. And it's like, I don't know, it was I think this guy Nast, his drawings were in black and white, so I don't know if that established him having white hair and that it was red, but his stuff also established the idea that Santa lived in the North Pole. So that's kind of where you also get it. And then you brought up earlier about Coca-Cola. A lot of people kind of mistaking that for where the modern image of Santa Claus comes from, the red coat and the white beard and the white hair, that was all created by Coca-Cola. That is a myth. We can dispel that as a myth, because as early as the early 20th century, early 1900s, there were magazine covers for Puck magazine, which had Santa in the red clothes, and it was that was about, I think it was about 20 years before Coca-Cola started using Santa Claus in their ad campaign. That was really around the 30s that Coca-Cola started using Santa Claus during their holiday advertising.
What did you say the magazine was called?
Puck. I think they're still around.
Is it a hockey magazine?
No, it's it's a like a Harper's, like a kind of a fancy mag. I'm pretty sure it's still around, or was a website, or is a website now.
Puck Monthly.
No, it's not a hockey.
Magazine.
No, even though Puck definitely sounds like a hockey magazine, I'm pretty sure it's not.
Yeah, people think that Santa Claus came from soda, but it actually came
from hockey. Yeah, all the hockey players just looked like Santa back then.
He skates so good. It's like he's from the North Pole.
Yeah,
this
that
man
actually
lives on the
that would explain a lot. Yeah, but the guy who did those Coca-Cola illustrations was Haddon Sundblom. So if you want to you want to credit that image of Santa to anybody, it's that particular artist. But it's kind of interesting to think that it is these American artists from the early 20th century that shaped the popular look of Santa, and kind of created Santa. I mean, he really is a North American creation as we know him today. And of course, during the silent movie era, there are actually a lot of movies with Santa Claus, or Santa Claus character. In 1912 was the first time that an actor was identified as playing Santa Claus, a guy named Leadham Bantock. Weird name. So he started a movie called Santa Claus, which he also directed, and which featured some color sequences, some limited color sequences and model work, and So I mean, it's funny that even the very early days of film, there were attempts to, kind of play on that image of this magical man named Santa Claus, but then for some reason, during the golden age of Hollywood, after the invention of sound, there are no Santa Claus movies, really none.
Another casualty of the moving to talkies.
Yeah, was Santa. It's kind of surprising. I don't know if the studios were afraid to mark. I mean, I don't think there were any bombs associated with Santa as a character. Of course, in our pre-roll, we saw a trailer for Babes in Toyland. Obviously it's a Laurel and Hardy movie, but Santa is a character. Of course, he's not in the trailer. He's not in the advertising. They don't show him. Same thing with Miracle on 34th Street, which is kind of the big Santa movie from the golden age of Hollywood. And as we discussed, the trailer doesn't even show or mention that Santa Claus is a character in the movie. It doesn't.
He should have top billing.
He should. He doesn't. And the actor who played Santa Claus, Edmund Gwenn, won an Oscar for playing that character in that movie.
Wow.
That's the thing. You would think that after that there would be this just onslaught of movies with Santa as a character, because obviously, a character can do a good job with it. And Brody Vandal asks, what's our favorite Santa? I think that's a great question. I mean, I might have to think on that one.
The one that comes to mind, and maybe it's just because I've been thinking about this movie a lot lately, is Santa from Elf.
Yeah, Ed Asner. Yeah, he played Santa in Elf. And yeah, he's a great, nice and gruff, but also,
Yeah.
It's got the jolliness nailed down too. Yeah, he's a pretty good one.
Yeah, because tonight's Santa he's almost a little silly.
He's too silly.
He's a little too silly. He's been kidnapped by aliens. There are 2 children in imminent danger, and he is not taking it seriously.
Definitely hacky Catskills comedian level Santa. Very, very not very good at playing to his audience, obviously. Yeah. He's just trying way too hard.
He's like a Tom Bombadil kind of character.
Who is Tom Bombadil?
From Lord of the Rings.
Oh, see? Boop! Way over my head. Yeah, there it is. I said, I admit it. I'm popular. I know. I'm not a Lord of the Rings fan. I fully expect
liking
the
Lord
hate
of the Rings
mail.
makes you popular.
You can go ahead and email all your hate mail to screamstreamshow@gmail.com. No, I guess my favorite Santa. I guess it depends, Brody Vandal, if we're talking about a real Santa or just a person playing a Santa. Because I can think of more of those that I love the department store Santa in A Christmas Story, right? He's just very he's so ready to get out of there, and all these bratty kids are coming up, and he's just sending them down the slide. That's the way to do it. I really think I'll have to think. Obviously, if you're talking real Santas, I can't not always think of the Santa from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the stop motion.
I was gonna say the same thing.
That's just kind of the quintessential Santa. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, no, that Santa had a little bit of an edge to him.
He did. He is. If you go back and watch
he has a little bit of a mean streak.
He is an asshole. He is not a good guy. Yeah, you'll shoot your eye out. Exactly. I just love that line delivery is maybe makes that movie, because you've already heard it like a billion times, but when he says it, it's just so matter of fact. And then Ralphie's like whole like confidence, and the music helps it too, because they just go doo, and like, and then he gets pushed down the slide by Santa's boot, and it's just I do really enjoy that Santa. But like, you don't have a lot of live action depictions of a real Santa. It's just not, like, until the 90s. And then like, and honestly, it might have something to do with family films, because like outside of Disney, there really weren't people making family films in the 50s, 60s, 70s. It wasn't until the late 80s, 90s, kind of the megaplex mall movie theater era, that you start getting, G-rated movies.
Even in the that trailer for Babes in Toyland, they had to explicitly put like in text, this isn't just for kids. You will like this too.
Don't send your kids. Come with your kids, please. For the love of God. This is adult, we swear. It does. And I think that's why maybe those other trailers avoided mentioning, oh, it's an angel, oh, it's Santa, because they didn't want to get pigeonholed into the family film category, because there is some, more adult subject matter. And so if you can get the adults in there, and then they start spreading the word, oh, it's actually about Santa, then the kids will come, and that'll be, more worth it than kind of pigeonholing yourself as a family film. But I think once you get to the 90s, of course, you have the Santa Claus movies with Tim Allen, and I think you start to get a lot more. I mean, again, you talked about Elf, where again Santa is the main character, and you do have examples of Santa as kind of a, the real Santa as a prominent character. And so these are some trailers with Santa being, I guess, the central character. I haven't seen either of these movies, but the first one actually predates tonight's film, and it actually was produced in Mexico. It's a Mexican-made film called, I think it was released in the United States as Santa Claus, but I think it was also released in some areas as Santa Claus versus the Devil, because there is like a devil like running around like battling Santa Claus, and it looks really public domain. I'm not sure. If it is, I'm sure we'll watch it. But it looks ridiculous, and it's pretty much a Santa Claus's movie. But that's the weird thing about the second trailer that we're gonna watch, because the second trailer is for a movie entitled Santa Claus the Movie. But there's really not a lot of Santa Claus in the trailer. Again, there is something about, even in a movie where, like, and so I'll tell you, so this movie was produced by the guys who made the Superman films in the 70s.
Okay.
And the Salkinds. And so it's almost like a superhero treatment of Santa. Like the trailer, like, plays it like that. Like they're talking about a superhero. And, and then they show him, like, the sleigh, like, busting through things and leaping over buildings, and it's very dramatic. And
he delivers the presents to the wrong house, and then he has to fly around the world so fast that he goes back in time to get it right.
It seems pretty ridiculous. And see, Brody Vandal, I have not seen it, but it has looked really bad. And, of course, like I said, the trailer, like, they don't even bill the actor playing Santa Claus, who is a man named David Huddleston, who would be more well known for his role as the Big Lebowski in the Big Lebowski. I'm trying to remember what the Big Lebowski's name is. I mean, it's the other Jeffrey Lebowski, right? And he plays Santa Claus in this movie. They don't even say his name in the trailer. Maybe they're doing a thing where they want you to, it's the illusion that he really is Santa Claus. So we're not going to bill the actor because we want you to believe it is Santa. But it's got Dudley Moore as an elf, doing the Dudley Moore shtick, which, you know, again, my favorite modern day just references of Dudley Moore are the On Cinema universe, where he's where they have a Dudley Moore impersonator in their Oscar specials. It's pretty great. But you know, Dudley Moore is an elf who gets like co-opted by this like corp owner in New York City to like start like mass producing toys. I don't know, it's some weird thing. But the villain is played by John Lithgow, and it is, I haven't seen the movie, but the trailer, it is, the bit with John Lithgow in the beginning is so deliciously cartoonish. I hope we're back up here in our chairs in time for that, because I died laughing yesterday at how, like, if you want an over-the-top villain, John Lithgow is just so good at it. He relishes it. Again, even when you don't see his face in a movie like Shrek, where he's voicing Lord Farquaad. Like, he's, you know, he'll give you that level of performance live action. Like, that's the beauty of it, you know? He'll ham it up that hard. He's not afraid. So I'm going to have to see this movie, I think, because just John Lithgow's performance alone looks like a lot of fun. So we're going to get these two Santa Claus movie trailers, and then when we come back, we'll get into the exciting conclusion of Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. So stick around. We'll be right back.
It's like living a storybook adventure beyond your wildest imagination. From the North Pole of Fantasyland comes a feature-length fable with the most enchanting characters in the whole wide world, headed by the white-whiskered fellow who's the granddaddy of them all. Now, a magic motion picture transports you to an over-the-rainbow land, past the doors of Santa's towering castle and the strange, mysterious, all-seeing eye, into a fantastic crystal laboratory filled with weird and wonderful secrets no one has ever seen before. You'll see them all, and you'll discover how Santa can watch every child on Earth and every good or bad thing they do. Now meet Merlin, the Wizard of Wizards, the miracle man of the ages.
Two for the show. Away we go. Hurry, Mr. Merlin. This is no time to play horses.
Come face to face with the devil himself, a mischievous demon determined to mess things up as much as he can.
It's yours. Nobody saw you take it, Lupita. They have more and they won't miss it. What does one little doll matter, don't you see?
Leave it to that devilish trickster to sidetrack Santa up a tree. Watch the jolly hijinks of Santa Claus as he decides to fight fire with fire.
Oh ho, a cannon. Ouch! Oh, oh!
You won't want to miss the entertainment wonder of the ages, the treat of a lifetime for anyone who has ever believed there really is a Santa Claus.
It's almost day, and Santa Claus hasn't come.
Sleep now, darling. Sleep now, and you will see. Maybe when you wake up, you'll find it, darling.
You'll see more wonders than you can wave a wand at as a dazzling panorama unfolds before your startled eyes.
Saturday and Sunday matinee only at a theater near you.
The prophecy has come to pass that there would come to us a chosen one, and that he himself would be an artist and a skilled maker of toys. From this day on, now and forever, you will bring our gifts to all the children in all the world. This is your legacy and your gift as is the gift of flight.
It's them!
Every year, the magic happens again.
Merry Christmas! It certainly should be.
Until now.
What are you? I'm an elf. An elf? Yes. You mean like a fairy?
I mean, I'm talking modern methods of production here. I'm talking assembly line. I'm talking way for the future.
Now someone wants to take the magic out of Christmas.
We say, bigger, better. It's going to cost you.
Cost? Cost who?
The people who buy the toy.
Well, nothing. We're going to give them away free.
For free?
Well, that's how we do it at the North Pole.
Well, that's not how we do it here. Santa Claus is finished.
I just wanted him to see what a good assistant I could be.
Only one man can stop him. Only one man can help us. And he's coming to take you for a sleigh ride in the stars. Alexander Salkind presents Dudley Moore and John Lithgow. The legend comes to life for the very first time. With all the magic, all the adventure, all the wonder. Santa Claus, the movie. Seeing is believing. An Alexander and Ilya Salkind production.
And we are back. So the trailers for Santa Claus and Santa Claus the movie. And you do gotta love how ridiculous both of those trailers are, but definitely Santa Claus the movie. I feel like there was a time a few years ago where AMC was playing that a lot, and I just never... I was like, this doesn't look like something I would enjoy. But that trailer just is so like kind of like just campy and just really over the top, and
it sells it pretty well.
Yeah, I mean it looks bad, like obviously.
Yeah,
but yeah, wonderfully bad as Brody Vandal put it. And yeah, it's definitely, I'm gonna have to add it to the list if I can find it. I'm sure it's streaming somewhere. But yeah, I mean, like, that's like kind of it in terms of Santa Claus movies. You don't really get a lot up until the 90s, you know? So it's good to see that, you know, we get a public domain example here with tonight's film. And we're about to get into the exciting conclusion of Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. What do we think, Evan? I mean, so far...
How's he gonna pull out of this one?
I mean, pretty well, easy, like butter, if I had to guess, because he's just been, you know, no match for... These Martians are no match for him.
Yeah, you know, I was thinking, so if the implication is that Santa Claus can just fit through any opening, why didn't you just leave the cell to begin with?
Well, that wouldn't have been proper of him. Okay?
He's playing with them. He's like Bugs Bunny.
True. Yeah, Santa's a trickster. What can you say? I mean, you're gonna be breaking into people's houses and leaving stuff there for this long. You're gonna be a
reverse burglar.
Pretty skilled trickster to be a reverse burglar. That's for sure. Well, we'll see. I mean, you know, Santa, I mean, we've seen him work his magic on the adults of Mars, but I think he's about to bring some joy to the Martian children. We can only hope. If there's something Santa's good at, it's bringing the joy. So, anything before we get into it, Evan?
You think Santa Claus is a analogy for socialism? He's just giving everything to everybody for free.
Life doesn't work like that, and that's what we're teaching our kids. You know, it's a bit. I heard a news item today about a guy who's dressing up as the Grinch, like going around saying, you know, Santa Claus isn't real, like God is, like Jesus is, or something like that.
Oh,
it's, you know, I mean,
if you're dressing up as the Grinch, you're not starting on a very good foot.
No, there's obviously an agenda there. You know what you're doing. And, you know, speaking of Grinches, our very own Voldar, here. Definitely the Grinch of this film. I'm sure he's going to have some kind of final standoff with Santa. So that's something to look forward to. Either that or they're gonna, I don't know. Death to Voldar is what I say, hopefully, but I doubt that'll happen.
Are they gonna learn the true meaning of Christmas?
I think that's the only way, but we'll find out. On that note, we're gonna go ahead and get into the exciting conclusion of Santa Claus Conquers the Martians right now. Yeah, I didn't realize that there wasn't much of the Martian children for like
Is Father here
the
yet?
first half.
No,
of the movie.
Bomar, I'll call you the moment he arrives.
Kick this whole thing off.
Yeah, they were the whole reason, and we haven't seen them.
Grandma, now
They've
go
been busy
back to your
watching
studies.
TV. We're gonna go watch more TV.
Oh, Kimo.
I want that cape.
Are you alone?
No.
You know me, I like my capes.
Well,
Earthlings, Billy and Betty.
That's how you know he's in charge too, because he's wearing a cape.
welcome
you don't see
to our
fucking
home.
Doofy with a cape over there. I can't even remember his name.
Well, Droppo.
There's someone else too.
Droppo wouldn't be able to take
Come on,
2
come
steps
on
without
in.
tripping over the thing. You never get anywhere.
Right, that's right.
Lady Bomar, I'm not accustomed to entering people's homes through the door, but you have no chimney.
Welcome, Santa Claus. We hope you'll make the children on Mars very happy.
I'll try, dear lady. I'll try. There. Where are they?
Well, we'll start with my youngsters. How are they, Momar?
My
Same,
children.
quiet,
first,
remote,
obviously.
and very
They're the most
unhappy.
important children on
They're
Mars.
inside studying.
Well, let old Santa say hello to them. And I'm sure these children would like to meet them.
I'll tell them you're here.
Y over 5 pi r squared.
Oh no!
Orbit from
Oh, I'd look like a dour little robot too.
through the
That's how I felt in math
at
class.
the power of 12
Hate this
megatrons.
shit.
Father, we missed you.
No, so the actress playing the girl Martian, this is her first movie, and yeah, as Brody Vandal notes, she would go like most of the movies she went on to do in her adult career were all like bad. She won multiple Razzie Awards, like, and you know, ended up becoming a parody of herself as a bad actress in the third Naked Gun movie.
There's nothing
So
in it.
that's, you know,
What are you giving me?
you know,
My
you've really
hand
made it.
to shake. How old are you? 10. I'm 10 too. And Grandma's 8. So is my sister.
We have another Earth person that wants to see you.
Conversion rate. Earth years to Mars years.
A great question, actually. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that they have the minds of 30-year-olds.
Santa Claus doesn't say anything. He just walks into the room and starts laughing.
So much laughing in this movie. Just uncontrollable laughter.
What's that?
They're laughing. Bomar and Grandma, too.
They've never laughed before.
Come.
Nice.
Groovy.
Yeah, totally. Far out, bro.
I can't believe it. That's the first time in months they've gone to sleep without the sleep spray.
Santa, tomorrow we'll set up a workshop for you.
What? I'm
It
sorry.
won't be exactly
Excuse
the same
me?
as the one you have
What?
on Earth, but I'm sure it'll serve your purpose.
Good.
Remember, they're
I'd
bad
like to
parents.
get going and have the toy shop operating full blast so as I can return to Earth for Christmas. You know, Mrs. Claus is a very good-natured woman, but
Santa Claus, you will never return to Earth.
Oh, shit. Movie's about to take a turn.
Now you belong to Mars
Ho, ho, ho.
I'm sorry, that was a total sitcom moment right there. Like, I wish we would have got more of a zoom in on his face. Ho, ho, ho.
I'll find a way. That's easy. Let's get rid of the little fat friend in the red suit.
Oh, that's suicide. Santa Claus is on a constant guard. We couldn't get within 20 feet of him without being disintegrated. But I have other plans.
Someone's approaching the cave.
Oh! It's me, Jim! All right, turn off the nuclear curtain.
Why is this guy in a ragged cave?
All right,
Like,
Jim.
what's the...
Enter.
I'm not sure if I understand the hierarchy anymore with this guy
What'd you find out?
in his ugly ass
The voice
cave.
shop was operating
Dude.
full blast. No one suspects me, so I sneaked down and took a good long look. It's nothing like the one on Earth. No one is sawing or hammering. Kimwar's built a mechanized assembly line for the old man. Toys are rolling off by the second. This planet will be flooded with toys. You know, they got one little toy. It's the cutest thing. It's just a coil spring. And it goes down steps all by itself. I was tempted to steal one. I'd like to fool around with the thing.
Toys! The cave's setting in. It's even affecting you. Soon all of Martians will be blithering idiots. But we've no time to lose. We must go into action.
No
we cannot
time
eliminate
to
Santa
lose.
Claus, but we can discredit him. Make him a laughingstock throughout Mars. Come on, now listen, carefully. The workshop closes at 10 o'clock. The guards will be in Timar's house, guarding Santa Claus. Now this is what we'll do. See? You take the left road.
Isn't that your favorite trope of like a plan, like just as they're starting to get into it, fade away. Now you...
It's almost as good as when they go, all right, and then you go,
Two dolls, yes, Betty.
What the hell? He's just spawning these toys out of nowhere. What did he need the elves for?
Free baseball, bats.
Is this just Martian technology making toys like this?
Look at me. Santa Claus, the great toy maker, pressing buttons, has automation for you. Technology.
Whoa, bro, this just got real bleak.
Well,
the AI anxiety is just hitting everybody, even Santa, man. Oh my god.
Yeah, what year was this?
64, bro.
Yeah, so they're feeling these automations.
This movie was 50 years ahead of its time.
pretty nice, eh? Lady Momar made it for me.
Can I try it on Santa?
Don't be silly, Droppo. This would never fit you. Why, you have to fatten up first.
I just predicted the ending. Boom, I got it. I know what's going to happen, but I'm not going to tell you. Can you figure it out?
I think so.
As they say on Earth, another day, another dollar.
Well, hello,
Keep an eye on
Santa.
Droppo.
How are
Until
you
the
feeling
head
today?
increase
Tired?
No, I'm not tired. But my finger is. It's been pressing buttons all day long.
What you doing with that finger, Santa?
Well,
Pressing.
I think I'll go in and put my finger to bed.
Here, children, here's your milk. You can play for half an hour and then you'll have to go to bed.
Daddy, may we watch the Earth program?
Certainly, dear, but only for half an hour. Billy? Betty? Don't you want to watch the Earth program?
Oh, no, sir. We're not interested in Earth programs. I'm going to sleep. Good night. Me too.
Just a moment.
Good night, Mr. Kimar. Good night, Lady Momar.
Just a moment, children. Are you feeling well?
Oh, we feel fine, sir. Good night. Good night.
Has someone been mistreating you?
Oh, no, sir. You and Lady Momar have just been swell to us. Good night.
Gosh golly gee, you know, we just...
What could it be, Momar? They're behaving the way our children used to behave.
Can't you tell, Kimar? They're homesick. They miss their parents, their friends. Kimar, you've got to send those children back.
Impossible.
Santa says I gotta fatten up.
Who does he remind me of? It's not Jerry Lewis. He reminds me of somebody.
Chocolate cake.
I don't think those pills are gonna help you gain weight.
Banana split.
You're taking uppers right now, man.
He's gonna overdose on food pills.
Whipped cream.
He's mugging like somebody. I just can't. I can't think of who it is. All the mean mug, all the mugging. I mean, you would have told me that Droppo was gonna be.
Now I'm Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Ho, ho, ho.
That's like me trying to put this on my headphones tonight. I don't know how to make this work.
My finger isn't tired. I think I'll go down to the workshop and make some more toys. Ho, ho, ho! Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way.
This should be a limited series. I could see a whole episode on Droppo causing chaos down at the toy factory.
There it is. Watergate Hotel.
Well, I mean, again, Santa did reference Nixon earlier, so I think there might be some secret messaging in this movie trying to alert us that maybe we shouldn't trust Nixon. He was gonna make a deal with the Martians. So we,
this is gonna shake
this was them trying to warn us.
These toys will never be the same again.
All right, Ritz brothers, chill out a little bit.
What a break! It's Santa Claus. He's alone. No guards. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is!
Droppo does need a spin-off, Brody, but that's what I'm saying. This could be, yeah, there's a whole show here. Of course, this is one of our longer movies.
Hey, Santa, how do you like this toy? Ho, ho, ho!
My friend asked you a question. Answer him.
Ho, ho, ho!
Quiet him. Put on a nuclear curtain.
Oh, these guys are idiots. So these ray guns that they have, like I said, they're whammo air blasters. Think about that for a second. Just what an air blaster is.
Yeah, what does it just shoot air?
It shoots compressed air up to 30 feet.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So as you can imagine, not the safest toy, and after a few years, they took it off the market.
Good morning, dear.
Kimar, I can't find Droppo. His bed hasn't been slept in.
Blasts of compressed air at over 30 feet at intended
Good morning,
targets.
Lady Momar. Oh, my extra suit. The one you made for me is missing. I'm sure I brought it home from the toy shop last night.
That's two things that are missing, your suit and Droppo.
What? Oh, that explains it. When you find my missing suit, you'll find Droppo inside it. He's out someplace playing Santa Claus.
I'll take care of him.
Oh, no. Now let him have his fun. He's probably at the toy shop making toys. He loves it.
Children, will you please hurry? Breakfast is ready.
Yes, yes. If you don't hurry, your breakfast will get cold.
God, Santa's fucking smart ass. Dickhead. He's laughing at his host, man.
He's hiding, Santa.
Oh, playing hide and seek, eh? All right, Droppo. Here we come, ready or not.
He's not here, Santa.
That's funny. Oh, well, he'll turn up. Let's get started.
Back in the old board.
Here we go again.
One teddy bear and one doll.
Another shift at the toy factory.
Love how all the kids of the world or of Mars are asking for one of 6 different toys. Makes it pretty easy.
The doll has a teddy bear's head, and the teddy bear has a doll's head.
These are some great toys.
Well, let's try it again. What's next, Betty?
Well, I'll send those off to the island. The island of misfit toys.
Baseball, tennis. This'll never do. The machine isn't working right. Oh, dear. What else, Betty?
A toy train.
A toy train. Well, all right, yes.
Tennis has been a little boring lately. We need to mix it up.
Why, this doesn't make sense. This never happened when we made toys by hand.
Stop the music. Stop the music.
Something very strange is happening here. Boomer, I think you had better call your father.
Ho, ho, ho.
Father, this is Bomar.
Yes, Bomar?
Father, we're in the toy shop. Droppo isn't here, and there's something wrong with the toy machine, too.
I'll be right over.
It's time to go. Sim, wake up! I still think you're making a mistake. It's too dangerous walking right into the enemy camp. Tomorrow's men wouldn't dare lay a finger on us. Not while we're keeping Santa Claus a hostage. Now, if we're not back in 3 hours, you know what to do. All right, Sim. Open the nuclear curtain.
They saying the what?
The nuclear curtain?
What would that? I don't know how things work on Mars.
Just a word of warning. If you got any big ideas, forget them. If you walk through that nuclear curtain, you'll be disintegrated like that.
All Droppo's got to do is touch that thing once, and it'll go.
Somebody switched all the wiring. Droppo's gone, your suit is missing, and now this machine's been sabotaged. Put them all together, it spells Voldar.
He was here, and he thought Droppo was me.
He's got Droppo, and I'm going to find him.
Poor Droppo.
Surprised to see us?
You're under arrest, Voldar.
Stop playing with toys. Put it away, Kima.
Got him.
We have a weapon that's much more potent than that. As you may know, we are holding Santa Claus a hostage. One false move, and your little ho-ho-ho man will be destroyed.
All right, what do you want, Voldar?
These are our terms. First, destroy the toy machine. Second, we will release Santa Claus if you promise to send him and the Earthlings back to their planet.
Like tweaking out.
Third, no more joy through toys nonsense on Mars. Well?
Well.
Yeah. No,
win.
100%, Brody Vandal. It's full on porn stash.
Are you sure you have Santa Claus?
You know we have him.
But
you
obviously,
mean you had him?
Voldar ain't growing that himself. That's just a boop.
How did he get out of the cave?
Sim, the idiot!
And how did he get here so fast?
Santa Claus has powers that you don't know about. All right, time's up.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's definitely the raggedy clothes emitting
I've got
more of a
Boldar
goblin
and
vibe
Stovo.
than a Martian
I'll keep
vibe.
them here in the storeroom of the toy shop. Rigner, you come here and take them off my hands. I want Hargo and Lomas to look for a man named Shim. Tell them to search the caves along the Transverse Canal.
Right, Kima.
All right, you two. In there.
Has he got tap shoes on? What?
All right, you might as well relax. You're going to be here for a while. Sit down.
Ooh, yeah. That's gonna really gum up the works. I took that light bulb and put it over there, and I took this light bulb and put it over here.
Where are you going? Ho, ho, ho! Can't you say anything else but ho, ho, ho? Ho, ho, ho! If you're thinking of leaving, Santa, let me remind you.
All these guys look like
once you
Shrek.
hit that nuclear curtain, there won't even be a whisker left. Ho, ho, ho! Hey, Santa, be careful!
What are you going to do with us? You're going to stand trial before the council. I don't think you'll be causing any more trouble.
Oh shit!
Oh, we meet again, eh?
I don't know how you escaped Shim, but you won't escape me. You're through.
Goldar, why don't you, relax?
You're going to relax permanently.
He is Bubbles. What? Because kids are fucking him up. Get him, toys. Santa don't be making those toys anymore. I did not expect this to be the climax of the movie.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense for it to be, but...
Yikes. Yeah. Oh, God, you know, that reminds me, I should have done that when we saw that toy. Why do we even have it if I don't even use it? I haven't used the yikes button in a while, actually.
Yeah, we haven't.
I'm gonna see who Boldar's fighting in there. I don't know what's going on there, but I'm going to take care of you myself. Now, just a minute. I'd like to talk to you. Oh, boy, Chief. Am I glad to see you.
All right, inside, Stovall. All right, kids, you can stop now. I said cease fire.
Cease fire, children.
I can't take it anymore.
He's so
All right,
embarrassed.
Rigner, take them away. They've had a rough day.
Ho, 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 everybody! Merry Christmas!
You don't need me here, Kima. You've got a wonderful Santa Claus of your own.
Ho, ho, ho!
So much laughter.
Goodbye, Billy.
It was hilarious.
Goodbye,
It was
Betty
really
dear.
funny.
You take care of yourself.
Bye. I've got something for you, Billy. Gee, thanks.
Goodbye.
Bye. Gee, we had fun. We're going to miss you. Do you think we'll ever meet again?
I'm sure you will, children. Thank you, Santa, for bringing happiness to the children of Mars.
And the Christmas spirit to all of us.
Son, from the bottom of my heart, I wish you and yours the very best of everything.
Ho, ho, ho!
Oh my God, that's the worst
Christmas,
Santa ever.
everybody! Truffle Claus is here! Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
Oh, you cannot wait.
Oh, yes! No pillows! Look, kids! No pillows!
Rocco's been hitting the pills.
Yeah, look, yeah, he's skinnier than when this thing
If we
started.
hurry, we can get back in time for Christmas Eve.
Yay!
Shall we get going?
Yay!
Goodbye,
Hooray.
dear friends. Away!
See, that's why I thought you meant Brody Vandal. I definitely would agree. The Torgo of Mars. Yes. Oh my God, is that it?
Are they taking the spaceship?
I guess so. They're just gonna show us stars over this whole song. This is the music video.
Merry Christmas.
I mean, yeah, Merry Christmas. I mean, this is what it's all about, right?
It's looking a little hazy.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Oh God, we were away for too long. It's all gone.
Oh my gosh. It's a groovy little tune. It's co-written by the one of the band leaders for The Tonight Show. You're in a lyric video?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this could give Silent Night a Bloody Night a run for its money for sure. It's slightly more frightening. Santa Claus.
Period.
Wow. That was Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. What did we think, Evan?
Oh man, that was fun. That was a fun movie.
It was a good time, wasn't it? You know, again, for once, no blood, no violence, no murder.
Definitely a very different tone than what we usually get on the show.
Yeah, a little Christmas sci-fi, which again, even that, there's not a lot of Christmas sci-fi. We were talking about supernatural Christmas, but one of the only other sci-fi Christmas things I could find in my research was a 1913 British film called A Message from Mars, which is basically a play on A Christmas Carol, but instead of being visited by 3 ghosts, he's visited by a Martian.
Great.
Who's like a miser is visited by a Martian. You gotta change your ways,
I'm the alien of Christmas future.
Yeah, so it's funny that there's that and then there's this, which is Brody Vandal. It's a stupid fun movie. That's I think what we enjoy the most on this show is, and you'd be surprised just how many stupid fun movies are in the public domain. But I mean, we get a fair amount, and that was definitely one of them. And perfect for this time of year. I mean, it's again, it gives you a reason to kind of get in the it's kind of irrational sometimes when you think that this time of year has to be happy, it has to be joyful, but it's not always like that for everybody. Christmas is not always easy for people. There's like, people have real lives, things are hard, but movies are a nice way to kind of escape into the holiday spirit. Like, that's the thing. If you're looking to get into the holiday spirit, there's always those holiday classics, but there's always those holiday not so much classics, which are dumb fun. And of course, Brody Vandal, thank you for watching tonight, making the transition with us from YouTube to Twitch. Again, this happens, and I've got my running list of movies which we can't live stream, so now I've got to add this to the list. My hope is to be able to show Silent Night, Bloody Night on a loop for 24 hours on Christmas Day, counter programming to 24 hours of Christmas Story, but we'll see. I've seen other people live stream it, so I think I won't have to. I think we'll be able to. That'll stay up. But I was thinking about maybe like just bouncing between the two movies, but now I know can't use this. So unfortunate. It's sad. Favorite anti-Christmas movies? I like a lot of like Christmas horror movies. So I don't know if that would count as like anti-Christmas, but I mean, Christmas slashers are kind of my guilty pleasure this time of year, and I've been so busy I haven't even got a chance to crack into them yet. So I'm actually excited because I'm gonna basically be binging them. But Black Christmas and God, there are a few others that I really like. That's off the top of my head, I can't remember.
Do you think Home Alone counts as a Christmas movie?
Do I? Of course. I actually did watch a little bit of Home Alone and Home Alone 2 today. And I always watch Home Alone to get into if I'm really looking to get into the spirit. It's not Christmas if I don't watch it. Oh, yeah. Brody, yeah, that's, I wonder if Die Hard was what you meant. I've seen both of those. I really enjoyed Gremlins, but I've only seen it the one time. I've maybe seen Gremlins 2 more than I've seen Gremlins 1. Says anything about me. And Die Hard I've seen, once. I mean, it is good counter programming, right? That's the thing. Christmas slashers are my Christmas counter programming. But I'm trying to think. I feel like there's other things that are kind of, anti-Christmas is a good way to put it. My Tubi playlist is what I'm going to have to go back and look at, because I know I've got them on my Tubi playlist. I've got like a bunch that are my holiday go-tos now, which I wouldn't have found if had it not been for Tubi. So, Gremlins 2 is a cinematic masterpiece, and there's a great Key and Peele sketch about Gremlins. Have I showed that to you before, Evan? You haven't seen it? Oh my god, we're gonna have to watch that after this.
I've seen Gremlins 2, haven't seen the...
Okay, so it'll make it even better that you've seen... Because
Okay.
if you haven't seen Gremlins 2 and you see that sketch, you're like, oh, okay, I guess that's funny. But then when you know what happens in that movie, it makes the sketch... It's over the top. It's great. Gremlins 2 is, it's kind of like just the most cartoonish live action movie. I mean, that's Joe Dante. That's the director, which I'll never forget. One of my mentors at school one time was like, I was talking about what are directors whose style you like, and I think I mentioned a few people. I'm sure I mentioned Corman, and then I think I said Joe Dante. He's like, well, Joe Dante doesn't really have a style. He's more of a for-hire director. He doesn't. I'm like, all right, man, whatever. I'm
disagreeing with the
tuning
professor.
out now. Like, No. I mean, I understand the point he was making, but I also don't think he's probably not even seen Gremlins 2, so he doesn't even know. Can't even speak with authority on the subject. But yeah, I mean, those are definitely great Christmas movies. I meant to. It's kind of funny that you bring this up, Brody Vandal, because I was like, maybe I should make a playlist of like alternate Christmas movies. I know ultimate Christmas songs. Evan and I were talking about right as we started the show about Lon Chaney's Monster Holiday. If you haven't listened to it, it's great. It's perfect. Gets you right into the holiday spirit. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll put out on like our Twitter page or our Instagram. I'll put out some kind of list, or we've got a letterbox which I haven't really done a lot with, but maybe I can put out some kind of list or something like that. But yeah, I mean, this is, we'll have some programming on Christmas. Again, it'll probably be Silent Night, Bloody Night, and I'll maybe mix in some cartoons or some other things. Try to do something special to celebrate the time of year. And of course, we'll be off, next week. I mean, is next week? It's like that's Christmas. I can't keep up with the days, but I believe next Friday. Hold on, I can just pull up my calendar right here. So, yeah, next Friday the 22nd will be off, and then we'll be back the Friday after that, the 29th, with a, Is
that our New Year's special?
It is actually a New Year's special, believe it or not. In the sense that it's a anthology movie from the 70s, and the narrator... He didn't write it or have anything to do with it outside just narrating it. Rod Serling, the host of The Twilight Zone. If you're familiar with the Sci-Fi Channel tradition of showing 24-hour marathons of The Twilight Zone on New Year's, that was kind of my parallel. Last year we had The Phantom Carriage, which is kind of like almost a Christmas Carol type story, but instead of Christmas they use New Year's, right? Again, that's the story of the drunken lowlife who's visited by death and is like shown all these terrible things he did in his life. And then it was a long movie, and it was long. I can't remember if he repented or there was something with the Sloom Station.
Yeah, that's the only thing I remember.
That's
about
all.
Is the armbands.
Yeah, the armbands with the Sloom on it. So we'll be watching Encounter from the Unknown is the title of that film. And again, it's from the 70s. I'm 98% sure it's public domain because there's no copyright symbol on it anywhere in the movie.